Chapter 436. The Chiyu sword faction was located in a low-ranked cultivation country in the Rain world, the Chi Nation. It was the #1 sword faction in the Chi Nation. Ning Fan stood at the foot of the Chiyu mountain with the silly little Jihe following beside him. They were admiring the scenery along the way, feeling extremely delighted. After Mu Haitang's appearance turned into Jihe, her personality also changed slightly. In the end, she was almost exactly the same as Jihe. He did not care whether this dream was real or not. As long as he was here, no one could hurt Jihe. He occupied Zhou Chen's body, and his cultivation was at Zhou Chen's level when he was 16 years old. Third-level vein opening realm was indeed weak. In the dream, Ning Fan did not inherit any cultivation base or body refinement realm from his original body. However, the power of his intent realm was still there. Ning Fan closed his eyes. Pieces of black snowflakes condensed on his palm. Each snowflake was the power of a concept. His memory concept existed in the form of the 7-apricot blizzard. With the power of the memory intent realm, even though Ning Fan was only at the 3rd level of the vein opening realm, he could be invincible in Qi country, which was just a low-grade cultivation country. In a low-grade cultivation country, the strongest cultivator was at the gold core realm. However, Ning Fan could freeze a spirit-severing realm cultivator with just a wave of his hand. Apart from that, he also had the immortal trapping sword will, which could also injure the enemy. With me here, no one can hurt Jihe. However, as far as I know, there isn't any Chi nation among the 800 cultivation countries in the Rain world. It seems like it was annihilated 10,000 years ago. The first style of Zhou Chen's sorrowful sword is called 10 years of life and death. If that's the case, 10 years will pass in this broken dream. If I want to break this sword and leave the dream world, I must not feel any sorrow for the next 10 years. The greatest sorrow in this dream was naturally Mu Haitang's death, which left Zhou Chen with endless pain. I only need to protect Jihe for 10 years without a single hair on her head. 10 years without sorrow, and this dream can be broken. After a long time, Ning Fan withdrew his thoughts and led Mu Haitang up the stairs of the mountain. Scarlet Mountain was extremely tall, tens of thousands of zhang in height. Moreover, it was a dangerous peak with tigers, leopards, insects, and snakes everywhere. In the eyes of mortals, Scarlet Moon Mountain was a peerless mountain that could not be climbed. Mu Haitang was just a mortal woman with a weak body. After half a day's effort, she had only climbed 3,000 feet. She was already panting. Ning Fan turned around and saw Mu Haitang sweating profusely. He crouched down and carried her on his back. Mu Haitang's beautiful eyes were in a trance. She leaned on Ning Fan's back and suddenly revealed an expression as if she had just woken up from a dream. Big brother Fan, I dreamed of you again. Very good, this Mu Haitang's existence had been completely erased, and the dream had completely replaced Mu Haitang with Jihe. You're awake. Ning Fan's tone became gentle, but his eyes became solemn. Dreams were indeed very mysterious and unfathomable. You thought that everything in the dream was real, but when you woke up, everything was empty. It was just an illusion. However, if dreams were all illusory, Jihe could always meet Ning Fan again and again in his dreams. It was hard to tell whether life and death in a dream was real or fake. However, Ning Fan was even more convinced that even if it was a dream, he would protect Jihe and not let her get hurt in her dreams. Big brother Fan, I missed you so much. I know. Rest for a while, I'll take you to a place. Ning Fan had thousands of words in his heart, but he could only smile bitterly. He had been running around and killing people like scything flax for his entire life. He also longed to return to Yu country. However, he had too many unfinished business and could not return. On the mountain path, only Jihe's words were left. Ning Fan listened attentively. Occasionally, ferocious beasts would rush out from the forest and block the path. Ning Fan's ferocious eyes could scare the birds and beasts away. His baleful chi and devil might were still there. Half a day later, they arrived at the peak of the mountain. It was already midnight. The moon was bright, and the stars were sparse. Magnificent jade buildings with bright lights floated in the clouds above the mountain peak, making it look like a fairyland. Among the clouds, young men and women came and went on their flying swords. All of them were sword cultivators. This Chi-Yu sword faction was indeed the #1 sword sect in Chi country. It was such a beautiful night scene, but Jiha was not in the mood to enjoy it. She had already fallen asleep. Halt! Suddenly, 6 disciples who were guarding the mountain appeared in front of Ning Fan, blocking his way. Each of them had a cultivation base at the 7th level of the vein-opening realm, and each of them carried a sword on their back. Their gazes drifted to Ning Fan. When they saw that he was only at the 3rd level of the vein-opening realm, their eyes were filled with disdain. Then, they glanced at Jiha. When they saw her beautiful face, they were stunned and their eyes flashed with amazement. What a beautiful lady! I'm the deacon who guards the mountain Yue. Who are you? Why did you bring a young lady into my Chi-Yu sword faction? The leader of the 6 disciples who were guarding the mountain spoke. He was at the 8th level of the vein-opening realm. He slightly released his aura force towards Ning Fan with the intention to intimidate him. I am Zhou Chen. Ning Fan casually flicked his sleeve. A breeze rose from his sleeve and dispersed Yue's aura force. His expression was still as calm as an ancient well. However, the 6 disciples who were guarding the mountain were repelled by the force of Ning Fan's sleeve. They coughed out blood at the same time and their eyes were filled with astonishment. Even if it was a dream, Ning Fan would not be intimidated by a junior at the vein-opening realm. Besides, he really disliked the way the 6 of them looked at Jiha. Hiss! All the disciples who were guarding the mountain, including Yue, sucked in a cold breath. The carefree young man with a sword on his back was Zhou Chen. Moreover, this Zhou Chen was only at the 3rd level of the vein-opening realm, yet he was able to block the aura of the 8th level of the vein-opening realm and injure 6 deacon disciples with just a wave of his hand. His means were really amazing. So it's senior martial brother Zhou Chen. Pardon me. The sect master has already given the order to accept senior martial brother Zhou Chen as his disciple and make him the first disciple of the Chi-Yu sword faction. If senior martial brother comes to the sect, you can head straight to the Smoky Sword Pavilion and go into seclusion to comprehend the sword for 10 years. After 10 years, if senior martial brother is ranked in the top 10 of the 100 sects sword competition, you can leave the sect freely and no one will be able to stop you. When Yue and the others looked at Ning Fan, their eyes were filled with fear. They were not only afraid of Ning Fan's identity but also afraid of his terrifying strength that could injure someone just by raising his hand. No one dared to look at Jiha for fear of angering Ning Fan's. No matter where one went, strength would always be respected. It won't happen again. Ning Fan left a warning, carried Jiha and entered the mountain gate. Along the way, the reception disciples had already been ordered by Yue to lead the way respectfully for Ning Fan. After turning left and right, they finally arrived at a pavilion that was filled with dense spiritual qi. It was the Smoky Sword Pavilion. There were 12 servants in the pavilion. Each of them had a cultivation base of the 5th level of the vein-opening realm and above. All of them could be considered as the elite disciples of the sect. However, they were sent here to serve Ning Fan. As for the so-called master of the sect, he did not show up from the beginning to the end and accepted Zhou Chen into the sect. There was also no assessment of the sect. Zhou Chen was a genius sword cultivator since he was young. He was chosen by the sect master of the Chi-Yu sect and passed the assessment in the mountain village. Therefore, he did not need to take any assessment after he entered the sect. Greetings, senior brother Zhou Chen. The sect master has already predicted that senior brother would come tonight. He ordered senior brother to rest early. Tomorrow, he will personally come to the Smoky Sword Pavilion to impart his cultivation technique to you. The 12 servants looked respectful but their eyes were filled with disdain. Understood. This woman cannot enter the Smoky Sword Pavilion. The Smoky Sword Pavilion is a pavilion that was left behind by the founding ancestor of the sect. Without the sect master's order, no outsider is allowed to enter. A few of the servants looked at Jiha with disdain and tried to stop her in a domineering manner. She is my wife. There is nothing wrong with me bringing her into the Smoky Sword Pavilion. What I cultivate is the sword of emotion. My master will understand. If any of you continue to stop me, you will die." As soon as he finished speaking, a terrifying baleful chi spread out from his body, causing the servants and disciples to become submissive. They no longer dared to show any disdain or objection. They could not understand why a mere third-level vein opening realm junior would have such a terrifying baleful chi. Zhou Chen had achieved success at a young age. Of course, his fame was boundless. However, all of this glory would turn into bone-piercing sorrow 10 years later. Jihe was sleeping peacefully. Ning Fan sat on the bed, guarding her while meditating with his legs crossed. From time to time, his gaze would sweep across the smoky sword pavilion. He could faintly sense a trace of incomplete sword intent from it. That sword intent was left behind by the founding ancestor of the Chiyu sword sect in the pavilion. It had not been successfully condensed and could only be considered as a half-finished sword intent. Rumor has it that old ancestor Chiyu was only at the nascent soul realm. It was already rare for him to be able to touch the edge of the sword intent. It was not surprising that he did not manage to condense the sword intent completely. Ning Fan closed his eyes and comprehended this trace of incomplete sword intent. That sword intent was ethereal like smoke. It made the sword look like smoke and made the smoke look like a sword. He gently lifted his finger and a trace of ethereal sword light slowly rose from the tip of his finger. He spent the entire night comprehending this sword intent and gradually gained some insights. This ethereal sword intent was quite similar to Zhou Chen's sword intent. Most likely, Zhou Chen's future sword intent would be comprehended from this sword mist. He still had to wait in the dream realm for another 10 years. 10 years without sorrow was a good choice to cultivate this sword intent. Suddenly, a sinister sneer came from outside the room, interrupting Ning Fan's comprehension of the sword intent. "Zhou Chen, you are really careful. You actually brought Mu Haitang with you when you left the village to become a disciple. Even though I did not manage to kill her in the village, killing her tonight will still be the same. I will certainly destroy your Tao of emotion and ruin your future." A Taoist who wore black robes and carried a sword on his back suddenly sneaked into the smoky sword pavilion. His finger technique was harmonious spirit sword light and he slashed at Jihe who was sleeping soundly. Ning Fan's eyes darkened. He guessed that this Taoist who was hiding his identity was most likely the culprit who killed Zhou Chen's beloved and made him sad for the rest of his life. He could kill Zhou Chen's wife, but he could never hurt Ning Fan's wife. "You're courting death." Ning Fan reached out his hand and made a grabbing motion in the air. An unimaginable sword intent turned into strands of sword threads and engulfed the Taoist who carried the sword, instantly turning him into a mist of blood. The Taoist's eyes widened in anger. They were filled with disbelief and fear. Even until his death, he could not understand why a junior at the third level of the vein opening realm could kill a dignified harmonious spirit realm cultivator like him with just a raise of his hand. He wanted to beg for mercy. However, he could not even do that in Ning Fan's hands. He could only die. He died with everlasting regret. Ning Fan flicked his sleeve. A breeze blew from his sleeve, dispersing the blood mist of the Taoist without leaving a trace. With his cultivation base, no one would be able to find out if he wanted to silence a harmonious spirit realm cultivator. That night, the life plate of the vice sect master of the Chiyu sword faction was shattered. He died mysteriously and the entire sect was in chaos. No one suspected that it was Ning Fan's doing. If Ning Fan killed this person, Mu Haitang would not die. In that case, Ning Fan would not have to suffer 10 years of sorrow. Zhou Chen's sorrowful sword could not hurt Ning Fan. The next day, the sect master of the Chiyu sect came to the smoky sword pavilion and gave Ning Fan a large amount of pills and cultivation methods. Then he left in a hurry. It seemed like he was going to investigate the death of the vice sect master. He was Zhou Chen's master who treated Zhou Chen very well. To Zhou Chen, his death was another source of sorrow. Within 10 years, Ning Fan did not go out at all. He stayed in the smoky sword pavilion all the time to protect Jihe. He fulfilled all her requests for pills. He also prepared some sword cultivation methods thoroughly. Ning Fan had never practiced sword techniques systematically. In Zhou Chen's remnant dream, he started cultivating diligently as a vein-opening realm sword cultivator for 10 years. His qi had already reached the late harmonious spirit realm a long time ago. However, he only told others that he was only at the 10th level of the vein opening realm. During the 10 years, Jiha slept more than she woke up. When she woke up occasionally, she was still in a daze. However, with Ning Fan's protection, she was never in any danger. On the 10th year, Jiha's figure slowly faded and disappeared from the dream. As for the traces of memories that originally belonged to Zhou, they were also obtained by Ning Fan during these 10 years. Ning Fan protected Jiha for 10 years until she left the remnant dream. No one could harm her. Ning Fan did not have any regrets nor sorrow. He would not be hurt by the sorrowful sword. As long as he broke Zhou Chen's sorrowful sword in the 10th year, he would be able to defeat Zhou Chen. According to Zhou Chen's memories, he should have become Qi Yu's disciple and comprehended the sword for 10 years. 10 years later, he obtained the quota to leave the sect and return to the village. However, when Zhou Chen returned to the village, he found out that his true love had already passed away for 10 years. Until that moment, all his glory turned into dust and all his love was shattered. He cut off the only remaining weeping silk begonia in the village and turned it into a wooden sword. After that, he cultivated diligently for 100 years just to take revenge. Ning Fan did not participate in the sword competition. He directly turned into a ray of sword light and left Qi Yu, returning to the village. The illusions around him showed signs of collapsing. It was a sign that his sword technique was being broken. Bang! The remnant dream that lasted for 10 years suddenly collapsed when Ning Fan stepped into the village. The village was just like 10 years ago. It was peaceful and happy. There was no one who killed them and there was no sorrow. Under Ning Fan's protection, Mu Haitang did not die and there was no sorrow. Without sorrow, a sorrowful sword would not be a sorrowful sword. The first style, 10 years of life and death, was broken. 10 years in the dream was just a blink of an eye in the outside world. In these 10 years, Ning Fan had built the foundation of sword cultivation which made up for some of the shortcomings of his sword Dao. After receiving a sword attack from Zhou Chen, he benefited a lot. After breaking the illusion, Ning Fan, who was in the real world, suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes flashed and shattered all of Zhou Chen's sword intent. The first style of your sword intent is ineffective against me. What? Outside the Thunder Court Pavilion, the expressions of the 3 Void Glimpse stage experts changed greatly when they saw Ning Fan actually opened his eyes and broke the illusion of his sword intent. Even Hong Yi was slightly surprised. Even Void Inquiry stage or Void Pierce stage old monsters would fall into the illusion after being bewitched by Zhou Chen's sword attack. However, Ning Fan directly broke the sword intent with the first style and woke up. Zhou Chen's eyes flashed with a hint of respect. In his entire life, he had only met 3 people who could wake up from the first style of the sword intent. They were Yun Tianjue, the sword sovereign of the sword world, and the 4 heavens rogue immortals. Ning Fan was the 4th. Sure enough, he did not misjudge Ning Fan. Ning Fan was a rare genius in sword cultivation. In terms of innate talent in the Tao of sword, Ning Fan was even above him. My sword technique is divided into 4 styles. Even though you woke up from the first style, the 4 styles of sword intent have yet to be completely defeated. The first sorrow, 10 years of life and death. At this moment, Zhou Chen no longer wanted to win the battle against Ning Fan. He only wanted to learn from him. Ning Fan nodded his head, signaling Zhou Chen to use his full strength. By fighting against Zhou Chen, his sword Dao could also be verified and improved greatly. Zhou Chen turned the tip of his sword. A wave of intense sorrow drowned Ning Fan. I joined the Qi Yu sword faction at the age of 16 and bid farewell to Hai Tang. However, I didn't know that after that day, we would be separated forever. She died in the hands of my evil disciple, but I didn't know about it. When I found out about her death, it was already 10 years later. I have been waiting for 10 years for her to be with me again. I have been waiting for 10 years for her. However, what I got in return was my life. She died. This first style of the sorrowful sword contains the regret of my entire life. I can't make up for it. I can't tell it. I can't forget it and I can't turn back. The sorrow of this sword can kill a void glimpse stage expert. A sense of sorrow swept across the Thunder official pavilion like tidal waves. When the 3 void glimpse stage experts saw this sword technique, all of them were filled with deep fear. Ning Fan stood at the center of the sword intent without moving an inch. His mind would only be locked by the sword intent once. There would not be a second time. Waves of pain came from his heart. That pain was the regret of not being able to protect his beloved. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with emotion. If the woman he loved died and he only found out about it 10 years later, he would certainly feel the same heart-wrenching pain and deep regret. Therefore, he could not take a wrong step in his life. He must not leave any regrets behind. That was why he would rather bear the notoriety of the world than to have any regrets in this life. Bang! His Tao heart was firm. It would not be shaken by sorrow. He opened his mouth and swallowed all the sorrow of Zhou Chen's 10 years of life and death. He recalled his understanding of the sword mist and sword intent in the 10 years broken dream. Just like Zhou Chen, he casually grabbed a wooden chair at the side. The wooden shavings were crushed and condensed into a wooden sword. A weak sword intent but a strong intent. A wave of sorrowful sword intent that was the same as Zhou Chen's condensed on the wooden sword. I also know the sorrow of 10 years of life and death in this sword technique. Ning Fan's tone was flat as if he was talking about something casual. However, it made Zhou Chen's eyes filled with astonishment. His strongest sword intent was actually stolen by Ning Fan. The 3 void glimpse stage experts found it even more unbelievable. It was already unimaginable that Ning Fan could break Zhou Chen's first style of sword intent. Now, he could even learn Zhou Chen's sword intent. How could this be possible? What level of genius in the Tao of sword is this young man exactly? He could actually learn the 3rd elder's sword intent in one go. The 3 of them exclaimed. They naturally did not know that Ning Fan did not learn the 3rd elder's sword intent in one go. Instead, he spent 10 years comprehending the sword intent by following the path of Zhou Chen's sword cultivation in the broken dream. Then, just like Zhou Chen, he melted his sorrow into the sword mist and cultivated the first style of the sorrowful sword. Hong Yi's cold eyes were slightly moved. Ning Fan had once again exceeded her expectations. Zhou Chen's sword edge slashed horizontally. Since he could not defeat Ning Fan with the first style of sword intent, he needed to use the second style. I joined the Qiyu sword faction and cultivated to the 10th level of the vein opening realm in 10 years. When I found out that my true love had died and that the enemy was a harmonious spirit realm old monster, I betrayed the Qiyu sword faction and cultivated bitterly for 100 years. After 100 years, I attained the gold core realm and slaughtered the Qiyu sword faction. I endured the pain of missing her and sat alone in my cave for 100 years like meditating. Every day was filled with sorrow. 10 years of life and death can slay a void glimpse stage cultivator. 100 years of loneliness can slay a void inquiry stage cultivator. Ning Fan suddenly raised his head. His black hair danced wildly in the air. His wooden sword also imitated Zhou Chen's sword. On the basis of 10 years of life and death, he extended 100 years of loneliness. Ning Fan also had loneliness. His loneliness was not the loneliness of guarding a sorrowful hut alone. Instead, it was the loneliness of facing the bloody sea of cultivation alone. His loneliness was different from Zhou Chen's. However, he could understand Zhou Chen's sorrow. Standing in the middle of the sword intent, Ning Fan was unscathed. His eyes, however, became deeper and deeper. The 3rd style, 1,000 years intertwining. The 4th style, 10,000 years drifting. When I annihilated Qiyu, I obtained a trace of Haitang's soul from that evil Taoist. I carved the silk Haitang tree at the entrance of the village into a wooden sword and sealed a trace of her soul into the sword. She became my sword. For 10,000 years of drifting, only her sword accompanied me. She accompanied me through life and death. Even though she was sad, she did not abandon me. As long as the sword exists, I will exist. If the sword dies, I will die. The reason why I can't attain the Void Pierce stage is because my intent realm can't improve further. It's not that I can't do it, It's just that I'm unwilling. My sorrow will make even me sink into it. As long as I abandon all my sorrow and forget everything that happened between me and her, I can attain the void-pierced stage. However, I'm unwilling. If the price of attaining a breakthrough in my cultivation base is forgetting about her, I would rather give up my cultivation base. Zhou Chen's eyes were filled with sorrow. His innate talent was exceptional. If it wasn't because he could not bear to let go of Mu Haitang, he would certainly be a void fragmentation realm expert now. However, he could not let go. The waves of sorrow did not give Ning Fan any chance to catch his breath. They drowned him once again. Zhou Chen's sorrow intent had already been activated to the maximum. Within his sorrow, there were his memories and his Tao. More and more sorrow seeped into Ning Fan's heart. However, his heart became firmer and firmer. From the beginning, he had never felt sorrow for Zhou Chen. Even now, he would not feel sorrow for him. Using his memory intent realm, he peeked into Zhou Chen's memories. He could clearly see every trace of sorrow in Zhou Chen's heart. 10 years of life and death, countless humans and ghosts. 100 years of loneliness and desolation. 1,000 years of intertwining, tearing one's liver and intestines apart. 10,000 years of drifting, abandoning love and entering madness. Ning Fan closed his eyes. He was like Zhou Chen, who had experienced thousands of years of vicissitudes after losing his true love. Following the traces of Zhou Chen's memories, he finally understood his sword intent. Ning Fan understood the 4 styles of the sorrowful sword one by one. His eyes seemed to be filled with tears as if he was affected by Zhou Chen's sorrow. As soon as his tears fell, his heart would be filled with sorrow and tens of thousands of swords would pierce through it. He opened his eyes and the memory intent realm enveloped his body. Gradually, all the sorrow that pierced his heart was devoured by the memory intent realm. Ning Fan opened his palm. Traces of black snowflakes were slowly condensing into a small black sword which shone with a strange luster of the great Tao. This small black sword was formed by devouring Zhou Chen's sorrowful sword intent with the power of his memory. His memory intent realm had broken through to the grand completion realm. After devouring Zhou Chen's sword intent, Ning Fan condensed a sword intent realm that belonged to him. 10 years of life and death, 100 years of loneliness. 1,000 years of intertwining and 10,000 years of drifting. It's not impossible to cut off all the sorrowful memories. I have comprehended a sword technique from your memories. It's called the memory-severing Tao sword. Perhaps it can help you break through to the void-pierced stage. If you can't get rid of her memories, you can sweep away the sorrow in your heart and only remember the happy times you spent with her in the past. That way, you can also break through to the void-pierced stage. Ning Fan raised his hand. The small black sword flew up from his palm and cut off all the sorrowful intent. Zhou Chen felt a sharp pain in his sea of consciousness. All the sorrowful memories that were cut off by this strange small sword vanished one after another. Dong that he fell heavily on his knees with astonishment in his eyes. He was astonished because Ning Fan had condensed a sword with the help of the 4 styles of the sorrowful sword, and this sword could cut off one's memories. All the power of Zhou Chen's sorrowful intent came from the painful memories of the past. If his memories are cut off, the sorrowful intent would no longer exist. You've lost. Ning Fan's eyes indifferently glanced at Zhou Chen. He raised his hand and kept the small black sword away. Then he opened his mouth and swallowed it. Today, after receiving a sword attack from Zhou Chen, he had used his 10,000 years of sorrow to achieve the grand completion realm of his memory intent realm and condensed the memory-severing Tao sword. It was definitely a rare gain. When he held the sword in his hand, Ning Fan took a closer look at it and realized that it had 2 great abilities. Firstly, it could erase the memories of others. Secondly, it could destroy the intent realm of others. If there is someone like Zhou Chen who fights against Ning Fan using intent realm, Ning Fan could defeat him with a single sword attack using the memory-severing Tao sword. What exactly is that small black sword? It could actually destroy all of the 3rd Elder's sword intent with a single sword attack. I can't see through it. I can't see through it at all. This sword is too profound. It's not something that I can understand. I seem to have read a similar rumor about this sword from an ancient book. This sword seems to be... What is it again? The three Void Glimpse stage experts were astonished by the power of the small black sword. Hong Yi was the only one who clenched her fists and said with astonishment flashing across her blood-red eyes. This is a Dao weapon with intent realm. According to the ancient books, only cultivators who have grasped the second step of intent realm can condense the power of their intent realm into a great Dao weapon when their intent realm is at the grand completion realm. It possesses great power. This black sword is a Dao weapon. This means that the intent realm that Zhou Ming has comprehended is the void intent realm of the second step. Moreover, he has already cultivated his intent realm to the grand completion realm when he is just at the divine transformation realm. Second step concept. Let's not talk about the second step intent realm he has comprehended. Almost no one in the 9 realms has comprehended the second step intent realm. Even in the 4 heavens immortal realm, those who can comprehend the second step intent realm are mostly perfected immortals. Perfect concept. Generally speaking, only old monsters of the absolute void stage can cultivate their intent realm to perfection and completely comprehend the word void. However, this young man has already attained perfection in his intent realm even though he has yet to attain the void refinement realm. His future is limitless. The eyes of the 3 Void Glimpse stage experts were filled with deep astonishment. Zhou Qin half knelt on the ground. The sorrow in his eyes gradually dissipated, revealing a look of defeat. Not only did little friend receive my sword strike, but you even broke all of my intent realm with a backhand strike. In terms of the strength of my intent realm, this old man has lost to little friend. Later on, this old man will bring 40 stalks of 100,000 years old spirit herbs and hand them over to little friend. Young friend, please wait for a moment. This old man will first cripple an arm to apologize to Mississippi. There's no need. Hurry up and get the medicine. Hong Yi's tone was ice-cold. Her eyes were filled with displeasure and impatience. She never said that she wanted to chop off Zhou Chen's arm. It was all Zhou Chen's own words. Zhou Chen's eyes widened in bewilderment. In the past, Hong Yi would certainly kill anyone who disobeys her orders. Chopping off an arm was considered a light punishment. The current Hong Yi actually knew how to sympathize with her subordinates. It was really surprising. Master's personality has changed a little. Zhou Chen's eyes were filled with worry. Hopefully, the change in Hong Yi's personality was in a good direction. Zhou Chen shifted his gaze to Ning Fan again and let out a deep sigh. Ning Fan swallowed his sorrow and condensed the black sword Dao weapon. It really shocked Zhou Chen. This young man is worthy enough for Master to recruit with all her might. He is qualified to obtain 100,000 years old spiritual herbs. In the future, he will certainly be a powerful aid to Master's revenge. Chapter 437. Zhou Chen took out 40 tufts of 100,000 years old spiritual herbs and handed them to Ning Fan. As for Ning Fan, he took out 5 pieces of dark lightning bamboo leaves and handed them to Hong Yi. While he was receiving the protection of the Zhou clan, he also promised to help Hong Yi with a small favor. To Ning Fan, this little favor was indeed not too dangerous. All he needed to do was to win a token in the grand competition of the Sovereign Tomb 10 years later and obtain the qualification to enter the Sovereign Tomb. If he really couldn't get a token, Hong Yi would give him a token 10 years later. Of course, with Ning Fan's strength, it was certainly not difficult for him to obtain the first place among all the Divine Transformation Realm experts. After breaking Zhou Chen's sword intent, Ning Fan gained the attention of the higher-ups of the Zhou clan. This attention was no less than the attention given by the Rain Palace. Other than the danger of exposing his sovereign qi, Ning Fan almost did not need to worry about any other hidden dangers in the internal endless sea. After obtaining some 50,000 years old spiritual herbs, Ning Fan bid farewell and left. Hong Yi did not try to persuade him to stay. She still had 10 years to prepare for her big event. Before that, she had a lot of things to do, such as healing. After traveling several tens of millions of li away from the Thunder Bamboo Island, Ning Fan chose a deserted island. He opened up his immortal cave and summoned Yu Lingkong and the female corpse. The golden lightning bamboo leaves required 50,000 years old spiritual herbs to be used to harmonize them. 100 pieces of golden lightning bamboo leaves had consumed a lot of spiritual herbs. Ning Fan had concocted tens of bottles of golden medicinal liquid. Every bottle of this medicinal liquid was helpful in recuperating one's primordial spirit. With just a few bottles, the crack on Yu Lingkong's primordial spirit had already healed. After completely consuming 100 bottles of medicinal liquid, Yu Lingkong could already release her magic power freely. Opening the moon door was not a problem at all. Ning Fan left Yu Lingkong and the female corpse in the abode to rest while he returned to the profound Yin world to treat Luo Yu's injuries. He did not know what kind of self-harming secret technique she had used to help him escape from Great Emperor Mo Luo's bewitchment. Looking at her pale and unconscious face, Ning Fan felt pity for her. He used 40 tufts of 100,000 years old spiritual herbs to make 8 pieces of dark lightning bamboo leaves and fed them to her. The unconscious Luo Yu was naturally unable to consume anything. Ning Fan used his mouth to taste the medicinal liquid. Every time his lips and tongue touched the liquid, he fed it to her. Although he had offended the beauty, there was nothing he could do. Even though Luo Yu did not wake up after eating the 8 dark lightning bamboo leaves, her cultivation base had recovered to the first heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. In fact, it was even getting close to the second heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. It seemed like the dark lightning bamboo leaves were extremely suitable for Luo Yu to recover her strength. If she had enough 100,000 years old spiritual herbs and refined the remaining 4 dark lightning bamboo leaves one by one, she would certainly be able to recover her strength to the second heavenly layer of the void fragmentation realm. Unfortunately, although the world was vast, 100,000-year-old spirit herbs were too rare. Any spirit herb that could live up to 100,000-year-old was a rare breed. Even though Zhou Qin spent 10,000 years and went to countless ruins, he only managed to find 100 stalks of spiritual herbs. If Ning Fan did not have a fortuitous encounter, it would be extremely difficult for him to obtain a 100,000 years old spiritual herb. Looking at Luo Yu's rosy but unconscious face, Ning Fan felt very gratified. Since he was able to cure Yu Lingkong and Luo Yu, his efforts were not in vain. What was left was to bring the female corpse to the Six-Winged Clan and use the power of the revival platform to repair her damaged sea of consciousness. To be honest, Ning Fan himself did not have much confidence in repairing his sea of consciousness in one go. In any case, the healing effect of the revival platform was beneficial to the dead woman. The trip to the Six-Winged Clan was a must. The appointed time to meet with the great elder of the Six-Winged Clan was also approaching. Ning Fan confirmed that Luo Yu was not pretending to be asleep this time. She was indeed unconscious. He did not stay any longer and left the profound Yin world. When he returned to his cave dwelling, he saw Yu Lingkong's teasing eyes. "Little cucumber, where did you go? There's a woman's fragrance on your body. Are you jealous?" Ning Fan smiled and asked her a question instead of answering her question. "Why would I be jealous of you?" Yu Lingkong glared at Ning Fan disdainfully, thinking that he was really narcissistic. "Are you feeling better? Don't worry. Even though I still have some minor injuries, it won't be a problem for me to open the moon portals. When the moon comes, I will let you witness a speed that even void fragmentation realm old monsters can't catch up to. Under the moonlight, I can open the moon portals once and travel 300 million li. During the day, I can also open the moon portals once with every 100 million immortal jades. However, I can only travel 100 million li. You need to spend such a huge amount of immortal jades to open the moon portals using magic techniques?" Ning Fan was greatly surprised. Back then, when he followed Yu Lingkong through the moon gate, he did not spend any immortal jade. However, when he thought about it carefully, the reason why he didn't use any immortal jades that day was because those moon gates were set up beforehand, so immortal jades must have been laid down beforehand. Now that he was going to the Six-Winged Clan, there were no moon portals along the way. Yu Lingkong casually opened the door. If she did not spend a huge amount of immortal jades, with her magic power, She would not be able to teleport someone 300 million miles away. A divine transformation realm expert could travel 10,000 li, a void refinement realm expert could travel 50,000 li, and a void fragmentation realm expert could travel 1 million li. Every time Yu Lingkong opened the moon portals, she could travel 300 million li away. With that, she could totally evade the pursuit of a void fragmentation realm expert. With such a heaven-defying speed, it would be strange if there wasn't a huge price to pay. Yu Lingkong was simply a portable primordial teleportation array. Your moon portal technique is really too heaven-defying. The inheritance of immortal concubine Zhang, you must have been famous even in ancient times. Ning Fan praised. Cut it out. No matter how heaven-defying this old lady's moon gate technique is, in the end, I still fell into your hands and was fucked by you. This is truly the shame of my life. Yu Lingkong did not say anything else. She rolled her eyes at Ning Fan and stood up, walking towards the outside of the cave. There was still some time before the moonlight appeared. She had to start summoning the moon gate. She secretly hid the trace of paleness on her face. Her body was still a little weak, but she did not want Ning Fan to know about it. She knew that the reason why Ning Fan was in such a hurry to go to the Six-Winged Clan was to treat the female corpse's injuries. She understood what kind of place the female corpse held in his heart. Ning Fan had gone to the Thunder Bamboo Island to steal the golden lightning bamboo leaves for her. She was very touched by him. She would definitely repay his kindness. Therefore, she must send Ning Fan to the Six-Winged Clan as soon as possible. There was no time for her to rest. But before she could walk out of the cave, her wrist was held by Ning Fan. He gently pulled her into his arms. Little cucumber, what are you doing? I'm going to take care of business. I'll repay you with my body later. I really don't have time now. When Yu Lingkong was pulled into his embrace, she thought that Ning Fan was going to push her down. Her brows knitted together and her heart was filled with dissatisfaction. It's fine. Actually, there's no need to rush to Six-Winged. Even though the Great Elder of the Six-Winged Clan has agreed with me on the time to activate the revival platform, he won't be in a hurry to activate it even if I go there a few days later. He will certainly wait for me to avoid angering me. Therefore, it's fine if I go there a few days later. You should rest for a few more days. Wei Liang and I will wait for you to recover completely before we open the moon gate. I don't need to rest. Your face is still a little pale. Have a good rest. Ning Fan stroked the side of Yu Lingkong's face with his palm. Ignoring her dissatisfaction, he directly carried her up and placed her on the bed in the cave. Yu Lingkong's mind went blank. She did not know what to do when Ning Fan showed so much concern for her. Little cucumber, I'm really fine. Wei Liang's matter is more important. She averted her eyes and lowered her posture. She no longer addressed herself as I. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Have a good rest. If you break your body, you won't be able to repay me with your body. Today, you're no longer a little girl with no breasts and no buttocks. I'm looking forward to it. Ning Fan teased her. Then, he held the female corpse's hand and walked out of the cave. Recuperate. Even the female corpse turned her head and said with concern. Even though her spiritual wisdom was slightly low, she could see that Yu Lingkong's face was pale. Yu Lingkong covered herself with a thin blanket and lay on her side on the stone bed. Looking at Ning Fan's departing figure, her eyes became even more complicated. Little cucumber, don't be so gentle to me. I'm afraid I won't be able to extricate myself. She sighed softly. Outside the cave, Ning Fan raised his head and stared at the moonlight of the last quarter moon. In the end, he did not ask Yu Lingkong to open the moon gate. It was not that he was not in a hurry. However, if he were to hurt another woman in order to save the female corpse, it would be like neglecting the essentials. The debt of love would always increase unknowingly. In this era where cultivators were as numerous as ants, it was hard to tell who was right and who was wrong. Who was right and who was wrong when it came to love? Who was right and who was wrong when it came to saving others? Everyone was trying their best to survive. If they stop, they would become the stepping stones of others on the path of cultivation. Wei Liang, if you wake up and find out that I've become so fickle in love, will you blame me? Ning Fan smiled bitterly. Each of the beauties he knew was an outstanding woman with their own pride. If they did not meet Ning Fan, they would never fall in love with a fickle man. Mu Wei-Yang in her previous life was the daughter of the Heaven Emperor. She certainly had her own pride. Could she tolerate the man whom she had waited for 150 million years to fall in love with someone else? The female corpse raised her cold and small hand and gently stroked Ning Fan's black hair as if she was stroking a pet. Her expression was filled with pity. No regrets? Her words were short, but they were like a sharp sword that pierced into Ning Fan's heart. No regrets. The female corpse said that she had no regrets. The female corpse would never have no regrets. The only person who would say that was Mu Wei-Yang in her previous life was Mu Wei-Yang. She had never regretted her actions. Ever since the last time she awakened in the Star Palace, she had gradually turned back into Mu Wei-Yang. It turned out that when Ning Fan was ignoring her, she had already become the Mu Wei-Yang of her previous life. I've killed too many people and owed too many women. Perhaps one day, I will be struck by lightning and die without a complete corpse. I have never thought about the future. Living in the present is already so difficult. I have too many enemies who are so strong that they make me feel suffocated. Moksha Sovereign, the White Devil Sect, Great Emperor Mo Luo, Immortal Emperor Zhang Qing. Each of my enemies makes me unable to stop moving forward. If I'm afraid, I will lose everything. Ning Fan told the female corpse about his worries. His mind recalled the afterimage he saw in the samsara. It was a butterfly that was half black and half white. Even though it was weak, it still rushed towards Immortal Emperor Zhang Qing. It knew that it would definitely die, but it could not retreat. If it does not risk its life, Mu Wei-Yang would die without a complete corpse, and there would be no chance for them to meet again in the next life. There was no other choice, and he could not run away from this path. Ning Fan was definitely not willing to be like Zhou Qin, who lost his true love and lived alone for 10,000 years. Even if he loses his life, even if his Tao disappears, even if his Tao and life are separated, he must protect each and every one of them who he cares about. Stupid. Light. The female corpse's stiff face revealed a sweet smile. The person she once loved deeply was such a stubborn butterfly. He did not change. Even if the sea turns into mulberry fields, he is still the same person. Ning Fan pondered for a long time. His Tao heart became even firmer. Standing side by side in the night, Ning Fan patted his storage pouch and took out a jade slip. It was a gift from Lightning Emperor Tai Su. In the past, when Lightning Emperor Tai Su gave him the jade slip, he did not read it carefully. Instead, he was busy healing Yu Lingkong and Luo Yu. Now, he finally had the leisure to see what request Tai Su had left in the jade slip. Tai Su had done him a great favor. He was the one who saved his life. Ning Fan must repay such a great favor. As long as it is within his capabilities, Ning Fan would never refuse Tai Su's request. Ning Fan scanned the jade slip with his spirit sense. There were only a few short last words and a vast star map in it. Judging from the position of the star map, the star region indicated by it was a small kiliacosm which existed in a hidden and sealed place in the eastern heaven immortal world. When little friend reads this jade slip, my Tao must have already perished. Humans must die and immortals must perish. This is fate. I saved you willingly. Little friend, you don't have to blame yourself. When Ning Fan read until here, his heart felt a little sour. In order to save him from the hands of Mo Luo, a great emperor of a generation had perished with his Tao and no one knew about it. It has been 50 million years since my death. During these 50 million years, I have tried my best to not perish just to wait for you to save me. Little friend, you are the person I have been waiting for. You are the hope to save the true lightning world. The star map of the true lightning world is attached in the jade slip. It is located in an extremely hidden star region in the eastern heaven immortal world. There are two types of seals in the star region. The first layer of the seal on the outside was set by me. With my strength that was unrivaled at the same level as me in the past, I used all my strength to set up the formation seal. Unless it's an immortal emperor who is at the same level as me, no one can break through this seal. Little friend, you have obtained the inheritance of my lightning star and lightning diagram. You can ignore the first layer of the seal of the true lightning world. As for the second layer of the seal, this seal was personally set up by immortal sovereign Zido a billion years ago. It can't stop our enemies. It will only seal our true lightning clan. We will never be able to break free from the true lightning world, and we will have to suffer all kinds of sufferings. What I want is related to this second layer of the seal. If Little Friend's cultivation base is successful in the future, you must go to the true lightning world and resolve the suffering of our true lightning clan for a billion years. That place is my hometown. In the past, I met an expert who taught me that I can only resolve the tribulation of the true lightning clan when the disciple of Zido appears. I won't be mistaken. You are indeed Zido's disciple. You must have obtained the immortal sovereign's impartation of Tao. Even the Z clan cannot save the true lightning clan. Only you can. This is my lifelong wish. I hope that Little Friend can help me fulfill my regret. Also, if Little Friend goes to the true lightning world, you must help me look for a person. Her name is Fei Feng. Perhaps she is already married. Perhaps she is already dead. If she is still alive, you can give this pill recipe to her. It can cure her chronic illness. You don't have to tell her that this pill recipe is a gift from me. If she is already dead, please go to her grave and burn this pill recipe. Then I can die without regrets. Gotcha! When Ning Fan was done looking at the jade slip, it suddenly shattered into pieces and turned into rays of 7-colored lightning. Then they condensed into 2 scrolls. One of them was the star map of the true lightning world, while the other one was an ancient pill recipe. Ning Fan only took a few careful glances at the pill recipe. It seemed to be a 9 revolutions pill recipe, and it was actually a 9 revolutions golden pill. Once a pill enters the 9 revolutions realm, it would be divided into 4 grades, which were lead grade, silver grade, gold grade, and emperor grade. This pill recipe of the 9 revolutions golden pill was priceless. Ning Fan fell into silence. A dignified great emperor of a generation could not forget 2 things before his death. Firstly, he wanted to save his hometown from the calamity, and secondly, he wanted to find a woman named Fei Feng. The so-called immortal emperors must have gone through the stage where they could forget their emotions. However, even if they had forgotten their emotions, they were not emotionless. Ning Fan engraved the 2 things that he had asked Ning Fan to do in his heart. He did not find it difficult to find Fei Feng and pass the pill recipe to her. If he had the chance to go to the Eastern Heaven, he could do it. However, the first request was to save the true lightning world. This request only made Ning Fan smile bitterly. Ning Fan did not think that he could do something that even immortal Emperor Tai Su could not do. After all, it was immortal sovereign Zido who had sealed the true lightning world for 1 billion years. Perhaps 1 billion years ago, before the immortal sovereign achieved his Tao, he had a grudge against the true lightning world. That was why he sealed this world. 1 billion years had passed and all the grudges had passed. If Zido did not die, he would probably be able to get rid of the calamity of the true lightning world. Ning Fan had once acknowledged Zido as his teacher. Therefore, it was reasonable to say that he was a disciple of Zido. He did not think that saving the true lightning world would go against Zido's will, and he was not prepared to reject Tai Su's last request either. However, Ning Fan really did not think that he could save the true lightning world with his current strength. He could not do it for the time being. However, he could give it a try when his cultivation base was stronger in the future. After keeping the star map and the pill recipe, Ning Fan stayed on the deserted island for more than 10 days. Only then did he bring Yu Lingkong, who had fully recovered, to the 6-winged clan. Yu Lingkong had already completely recovered to her peak state. She set up a moon portal which could allow her to travel 300 million li. In just one night, she had opened the moon portal more than 20 times and brought Ning Fan across more than 7 billion li. Only then did they arrive at the sea region where the 6-winged clan was located. As for the amount of immortal jade used, it was a total of 1.2 billion. Ning Fan had just obtained a lot of immortal jade from the Zhou clan. Now, all of them were used up by Yu Lingkong again. The moon portal technique could allow her to travel across 300 million li. Its speed was extremely fast, but the price it had to pay was indeed huge. Fortunately, Ning Fan did not have much concept of immortal jade. He did not know how to feel bad about spending money at all. If he ran out of money, he could just rob some more in the future. Ning Fan, the female corpse, and Yu Lingkong entered the sea using rays of light and moved towards the sea region 1,000,000 zhang below. Just as they descended to the bottom of the sea, they heard the sounds of battle coming from the sea hill not far away when they were still tens of millions of li away from the six-winged clan. On the sea hill, there was a group of cultivators who were clad in black armor. There were more than 30 of them, and each of them had 6 wings. All of them had suffered quite a heavy injury and were surrounded by hundreds of experts. Without a doubt, all of the cultivators who were trapped were members of the six-winged clan. The one with the highest cultivation base was an early divine transformation realm woman. She had already been severely injured by someone. Her physical body was destroyed and only her primordial spirit was left. The hundreds of experts who surrounded the sea hill consisted of 4 groups of experts. Those who surrounded the eastern side of the sea hill were a group of ferocious devils. All of them had ghost eyes on their glabella. They were obviously from the Ghost Eye clan. Those who surrounded the western side were also from the devil race. All of them had devil horns on their heads. They were obviously from the Mist Horn clan. If there were only the experts from these 2 clans surrounding the sea hill, Ning Fan would only think that this battle was an internal conflict between the 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean. However, other than these 2 clans and the devil race, there were actually 2 other forces involved. Ning Fan was very familiar with the inscriptions worn by the experts at the north of the sea hill. They were actually the inscriptions of the Demon Sealing Sect. The Demon Sealing Sect was really all-pervasive. They even dared to intervene in the battle between the 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean. The experts at the south of the sea hill, on the other hand, were far beyond Ning Fan's expectation. Each of these experts cultivated profound techniques. Their bodies were filled with righteous qi. They were actually profound cultivators of the righteous path. Judging from their attire, cultivation methods, and qi, they seemed to be experts from one of the righteous sects in the 800 cultivation countries. There were a total of 7 divine transformation realm experts from the 4 great forces surrounding the six-winged clan. All of them were brimming with killing intent and clamoring non-stop. Every single one of their words revealed their determination to annihilate the six-winged clan. Interesting. Profound cultivators of the righteous path, devil cultivators of the devil race, and demon cultivators of the demon sealing sect. These foreign clans have actually joined forces to attack the six-winged clan. What is their purpose? If there were no great benefits, Ning Fan would not believe that the 3 clans which had never interacted with each other would join forces. At least, based on Ning Fan's understanding of the demon sealing sect, they would not act without benefits. Little Cucumber, are we going to save them? What Yu Lingkong asked was naturally whether they should save the experts of the six-winged clan. The female corpse, on the other hand, was indifferent. She was never interested in these deceitful battles. It's no longer up to us to act or not. Ning Fan smiled and touched Yu Lingkong's nose. His eyes suddenly turned cold. When the 4 groups of experts who were attacking the sea hill sensed the fluctuations caused by Ning Fan and the others entering the sea, they had already sent out quite a number of experts to surround Ning Fan and the others. How dare you! My Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan have already sealed off the sea. No cultivators are allowed to enter the sea. How dare a junior like you defy the ban? You're courting death. Kill him. Groups of experts charged at Ning Fan without asking for the reason. Just the fact that Ning Fan had disobeyed the ban was enough for them to kill him. Kill him. If the six-winged clan is destroyed, we won't be able to borrow the revival platform anymore. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with indifference as if killing these experts was just a trivial matter. His sword sense suddenly spread out and engulfed the sea hill. The experts of the 4 great forces were instantly killed by Ning Fan's sword sense. Their flesh and blood splattered everywhere. Only the 7 divine transformation realm cultivators were shocked. How could they not know that Ning Fan, who looked ordinary, was actually a peerless expert? Even if they were divine transformation realm old monsters, They would not be able to kill hundreds of nascent soul realm cultivators with just a single thought. Ning Fan's strength was beyond their imagination. Zhou Ming. I'm Zhou Ming, the distinguished guest of the Great Elder. I'm Fen Qi. I'm the Deacon Elder who was sent by the Great Elder to welcome you. Please save us. I'll be eternally grateful. The Divine Transformation Realm lady who was severely injured and only had her primordial spirit left recognized Ning Fan as soon as she saw his face. Immediately, all the despair on her face disappeared and she shouted for help. Her words entered the ears of the 7 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators. Immediately, the 7 of them who were initially arrogant were trembling in fear. Zhou Ming. That's right. He's Zhou Ming whom the Palace Lord has warned us not to offend. One of the Divine Transformation Realm cultivators of the Demon Sealing Sect said in despair. Zhou Ming? He's the infamous Zhou Ming of the Endless Sea? The Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan had always been living under the tranquil ocean. Thus, they did not know Ning Fan's appearance. Now that they heard Ning Fan's devil name, they were naturally shocked. Zhou Ming? The newly appointed revered elder of the Rain Palace. The few Divine Transformation Realm cultivators were also filled with fear when they heard Ning Fan's name. Very well. They finally know what fear is. Unfortunately, it was a little too late for them to be afraid. Don't come any closer. If you come any closer, I'll kill this woman. The 7 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators knew that they would definitely die. The one with the highest cultivation base among them was only at the mid-Divine Transformation Realm. How could they be Ning Fan's match? The Divine Transformation Realm old man of the Demon Sealing Sect flashed and arrived at the Sea Hill. He stepped on the primordial spirit of the 6-winged lady. His eyes were filled with fear and his voice trembled as he threatened Ning Fan. He had heard about Ning Fan's terrifying strength from Lu Jiefan countless times. He certainly did not dare to confront Ning Fan head-on. He could only threaten Ning Fan with the use of a woman. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with mockery. He took a step forward without any intention of showing mercy to the fairer sex. Then, he turned into a black shadow and disappeared. A strong sense of danger descended upon the Divine Transformation Realm cultivator of the Demon Sealing Sect, causing him to feel despair. Not good. This Zhou Ming doesn't know this lady at all. He won't be threatened by anyone for her. His strength can even make a venerable demon afraid of him. I must die. Damn it. Damn it. I'm going to perish together with you. The old man activated his killing technique and stomped on the ground, aiming at the lady whose name was Fen Qi. Since there was no hope of survival, he would drag one of them down with him before he dies. The small face of Fen Qi's beautiful primordial spirit was filled with extreme fear. She let out a terrified scream. She thought that she was going to die for sure. However, at the next moment, her body suddenly felt light. She felt that her tiny primordial spirit was held in someone's palm. Before she could see the face of that person clearly, she saw Emonian spreading in all directions. 7 Divine Transformation Realm cultivators were entangled and killed by Emonian at the same time. Black Tempest Soul Splitting Technique. What a frightening magic technique. The delicate body of Fen Qi's primordial spirit trembled uncontrollably. Only now did she see clearly that the person who saved her was the unusually cold young man whom she had asked for help before. What happened to the 6-winged clan? Ning Fan's cold voice entered Fen Qi's ears, causing her entire body to shiver. It was as if Ning Fan would kill her if she told a lie. He's a heartless person. Fen Qi was filled with fear. She immediately evaluated Ning Fan. Chapter 438. Fen Qi's cultivation base was at the early Divine Transformation Realm. She was beautiful and she was a famous beauty in the 6-winged clan. Fen Qi had always been very confident in her beauty. Even among the middle and late-stage Divine Transformation Realm old monsters of the 6-winged clan, there were quite a number of them who fancied her. Many old monsters were willing to become Dao companions with Fen Qi. However, Fen Qi had always been proud and arrogant. She looked down on any man. Under the order of the Great Elder of the 6-winged clan, She came to welcome Ning Fan outside the clan. However, she was reluctant to do so as she thought that it would be beneath her status to welcome Ning Fan. As Ning Fan was worried about Yu Lingkong's condition, he did not arrive even after a long time. As for Fan Qi, she brought her people to wait for him outside the clan. They had been waiting for him for several days, which made her even more impatient. Unexpectedly, the great calamity of the Six-Winged Clan came instead of Ning Fan. The Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan had colluded with the other two great clans. They had openly sealed off several 100 million miles of the sea and launched an attack on the Six Wings Clan. The masterminds were naturally the Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan. The reason why they attacked the Six-Winged Clan seemed to be to obtain some devil statue slate. Half a month ago, in the forbidden area of the Six-Winged Clan, a strange phenomenon appeared in the sky. Demon blood dyed the blue sky red. An ancient demon statue that had been worshipped in the forbidden area for generations suddenly shattered after the strange phenomenon appeared. That devil statue was said to worship a certain devil ancestor in the ancient times. The devil statue had a mysterious and mighty power. It would not be destroyed by any attack. Even a void fragmentation realm old monster would not be able to destroy it. However, the strange phenomenon that day greatly reduced the spirituality of the devil statue, causing it to shatter on its own. Moreover, an ancient stone tablet hidden within the devil statue fell out, seemingly recording something. The slate fell into the great elder's hands immediately. No one knew what was recorded on it. At the same time, the Mist Horn Clan, the Ghost Eye Clan, and the other two clans also experienced the same phenomenon. The two clans seemed to have obtained an ancient slate from the devil statue's fragment. As for the giant demon clan, there was also a phenomenon of demonic blood dyeing the sky, but it only lasted for a moment before disappearing. According to the investigation of many masters, the demonic statue in the giant demon clan's forbidden land didn't shatter, nor did it turn into stone. This matter caused quite a stir in the inner sea. Many rumors said that the ancient stone slab recorded the great secrets of the demon race. However, no one dared to look at the stone slabs because the 3 stone slabs that had appeared were in the hands of the 3 devil races of the hidden ocean. The 3 devil clans were guarded by void refinement realm experts. Some experts who knew a little about the history of the Endless Sea would not dare to provoke the 3 great devil clans. In the Rain World, there were 800 cultivation countries, innumerable spiritual mountains and great lakes and innumerable strong cultivators. However, there were only a few hundred void refinement realm old monsters. Each of them was a strong cultivator whose name once shook the entire world. In the entire Rain World, the hidden ocean demon clan was a first-rate force. Only the Thunder Sovereign dared to suppress the 3 clans. Ordinary cultivators would not dare to provoke the 3 clans. Ordinary people didn't dare to covet the devil statue slate, but the 3 members of the demon clan dared to fight over it. The Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan had always been close to each other. The Six-Winged Clan was isolated, and the reason why they were attacked first was to fight for the slate. The giant demon clan didn't shatter the statue or reveal the stone slab, so they managed to escape. This was the reason why the Six-Winged Clan was suddenly attacked. This time, the Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan each sent out 2 Void Glimpse Stage old monsters and invited 2 illusory Void Stage experts from the Demon Sealing Palace and the Lan Ling sect to help. It was the Lan Ling sect, a sect from the Xiu country that had a good relationship with the Ghost Eye Clan. It was rumored that the sect master of the sect, the Lan Ling sect, was an outstanding figure among the youths of the previous generation in the Rain World. He was unrivaled among his peers, and he had only been defeated once in his life. That time, he was defeated by Yun Tianjue. The current Duke of Lan Ling was said to be an absolute void stage old monster. He was not far away from attaining the void fragmentation realm. Moreover, the divine sovereign of the Rain Palace once praised him as the most promising person to become the next void fragmentation realm old monster of the Rain World. This time, the Lan Ling sect had only sent a void illusory realm old monster to attack the Six-Winged Clan. He was not a true void refinement realm expert. But even so, with the intervention of the Lan Ling sect, Many old monsters of the righteous Tao gave up on the idea of obtaining the devil's statue slate. The Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan wanted to rope in the Lan Ling sect because they wanted to use the Lan Ling sect's power to intimidate the righteous path. As for the Demon Sealing sect, the sect master of the Demon Sealing sect, Lu Jiefan, had received the devil pill of the Ghost Eye clan. His injuries in the Star Palace had healed and his cultivation base had improved tremendously. He was not far away from breaking through to the Void Refinement realm and was in an illusory state. The Demon Sealing sect had received the favor of the Ghost Eye clan. Of course, they had to contribute to the attack on the Six-Winged clan. The reason why the Ghost Eye clan wanted to rope in the Demon Sealing sect was certainly not because they valued Lu Jiefan's illusory strength. Instead, they valued Lu Jiefan's position as one of the 8 venerated beings of the Internal Sea. The 8 venerated beings of the Internal Sea were the subordinates of the Thunder Sovereign. With the involvement of the Demon Sealing sect, the devil cultivators of the Endless Sea would not dare to interfere in this matter. The reason why the Lan Ling sect and the Demon Sealing sect wanted to rope in the two sects was to intimidate the righteous path and the devil path of the world. Fan Qi told Ning Fan all the information without hiding anything. She was really a beautiful woman full of tragedy. She was waiting for Ning Fan's arrival outside the clan, but she was surrounded by the 4 great forces. If it wasn't because the experts who surrounded her coveted her beauty and held back their strength, wanting to capture her alive, it would have been impossible for her to survive the attacks of the 7 Divine Transformation Realm enemies with her early Divine Transformation Realm cultivation base. I am unable to repay Venerated Ming's kindness of saving my life. Everything I have told you is the truth. I dare not hide anything from you. I hope Venerated Ming will understand. Fan Qi told Ning Fan everything and tried her best to sound calm. Previously, she was conceited about her beauty and looked down on Ning Fan. She did not understand why the Great Elder sent her to welcome Ning Fan. Now, she only had respect and fear for Ning Fan. In her eyes, the aura force that Ning Fan gave her was even more irresistible than that of the Great Elder. She immediately understood that it was wrong of her to underestimate Ning Fan in the past. She was also grateful to Ning Fan. Without his help, she would certainly have been captured by the 7 Divine Transformation Realm enemies. Then she would have been humiliated or killed. She was even more afraid of Ning Fan. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with supreme coldness. It was as if he was standing on the clouds looking down on all living beings. He did not have this kind of coldness in the past. After Ning Fan had experienced the cultivation base of an immortal emperor and fought against Mo Luo, his outlook was broadened. His state of mind was washed clean and his aura was tainted with a trace of nobility of an immortal emperor. He is a heartless person. That kind of heartless is not cold-blooded. Instead, the heartlessness of an expert looking at an ant. Fan Qi pondered. In short, Fan Qi was very afraid of Ning Fan. Her physical body had already been destroyed. Only her primordial spirit, which was the size of a palm, was left in Ning Fan's palm. Her long and narrow brows carried a soul-captivating beauty. Her red lips were alluring. She wore a tight-fitting battle armor which made her look like a female devil general. There were 6 small and delicate wings on her back. She carried a kind of enchanting aura that belonged to a foreign race. She was the #1 beauty of the Six-Winged clan. Countless men would look at her with scorching eyes. However, Ning Fan's eyes were always cold when he looked at her. You didn't lie. That's good. If you lie, you will regret it. Ning Fan had already activated his mind-reading technique. While he was questioning Fan Qi, he also obtained all the information in her mind. As for whether Fan Qi was telling the truth or lying, it made no difference to Ning Fan. However, since Fan Qi was telling the truth, Ning Fan's attitude towards her naturally became slightly friendlier. At least, his eyes were not as cold as before. He let go of Fan Qi and let her tiny primordial spirit stay on his shoulder. Then he spread his Fu Li demon wings and gave rise to a purplish-black demonic wind, carrying Yu Lingkong and the female corpse towards the Six-Winged clan. Little Cucumber, are we really going to save the Six-Winged clan? Forget about the Demon Sealing Palace. However, The Ghost Eye clan and the Misthorn clan are not to be trifled with. They are determined to get their hands on that devil statue slate or whatever. They are even willing to annihilate the Six-Winged clan for the slate. If we intervene, we will certainly offend the two clans. Moreover, the Lan Ling sect is also involved in this operation to attack the Six-Winged clan. Yu Lingkong calmly analyzed the situation. During crucial moments, her intelligence was never muddled. She was a very reliable wife. You must be Venerated Ming's Dao companion, Venerated Moon. I beg you, Venerated Moon. You must save my Six-Winged clan. Fen Qi's beautiful face was filled with anxiety and despair. This time, the four forces had sent 2 Void Glimpse stage experts and 2 Illusory Void stage experts to attack the Six-Winged clan. However, there was only 1 Void Glimpse stage expert in the Six-Winged clan. It was difficult for 2 fists to fight against 4 hands. Without Ning Fan and Yu Lingkong's help, the Six-Winged clan would certainly be annihilated. Even though Fen Qi was extremely arrogant and conceited in the past, she had heard of the rumor that Ning Fan possessed 3 Void Refinement Realm spiritual puppets. According to the rumor, Ning Fan and Yu Lingkong were both half-step Void Refinement Realm experts. They were unable to fight against a true Void Refinement Realm old monster. However, Ning Fan's 3 spiritual puppets were the greatest hope to save the Six-Winged clan this time. Fen Qi was almost begging. Yu Lingkong gently frowned at her pleading. She was not a kind person who would offend the Ghost Eye clan, the Misthorn sect, and the Lan Ling sect for fun. She habitually wanted to refute the title of Venerated Ming's Dao companion. However, when she recalled Ning Fan's gentle expression, her tone became sluggish and she actually did not raise any objection to this title. Little Cucumber, I don't like to offend these great forces. However, if you say you want to help me, I will certainly hesitate and help you. Yu Lingkong's tone was extremely firm. Ning Fan's heart felt warm. Yu Lingkong's words actually meant that she would follow him through life and death. As long as it was for Ning Fan, she was willing to offend each and every extremely terrifying force. He raised his hand and gently held Yu Lingkong's hand. The corner of his mouth curled into an ambiguous smile. Only the Great Elder of the Six-Winged clan can activate the revival platform. In order to heal Whale Yang's Sea of Consciousness, the Six-Winged clan must not be annihilated. We must protect this clan. You heir, I'm counting on you to help me this time. Don't worry. I will definitely help you. Let go of me. Yu Lingkong's delicate body trembled. She nervously withdrew her hand. Currently, her mind would be in a mess and her heart would beat faster whenever Ning Fan casually touches her. She felt strange. It was really strange. In the past, even if she had sex with Ning Fan, she did not have this kind of feeling. However, at this moment, her emotions were completely affected by Ning Fan. Little Cucumber, don't worry. My cultivation base has already recovered to its peak. Moreover, it has even improved a lot. Even if I have to fight 2 Void Glimpse stage and 2 Illusory Void stage experts alone, it will definitely not be a problem. This time, I will protect you. I can fight 4 of them alone. Yu Lingkong had never seen the shocking scene of Ning Fan killing a Void Refinement Realm expert with a single palm strike in the Black Lightning Tower. She did not know that the current Ning Fan could even defeat a Void Inquiry stage expert if he goes all out. The reason why she told Ning Fan that she could fight 4 of them alone was just to make him feel at ease. However, when these words fell into Fen Qi's ears, it sounded like she was speaking rudely. What? Venerated Moon actually said that she can fight 4 of them alone. Even the Great Elder can't fight 2 Void Glimpse stage and 2 Illusory Void stage experts alone. Isn't this Venerated Moon a little too arrogant? Fen Qi did not believe that Yu Lingkong had the strength to fight 4 of them alone. However, even if she did not believe it, she also did not dare to voice out her thoughts in front of Yu Lingkong in order to avoid angering her. Ning Fan, on the other hand, believed in Yu Lingkong's strength. Just her second primordial spirit alone could already defeat 3 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets. If it's Yu Lingkong herself, her combat power would be even stronger. After recovering the power of her primordial spirit, her strength had improved a lot. The current Yu Ling Kong was not any weaker than an ordinary Void Inquiry stage old monster when she goes all out. She alone was enough to quell the calamity of the Six-Winged Clan today. Of course, Ning Fan did not plan to stain the Six-Winged Clan with blood. Yu Ling Kong was willing to offend the Ghost Eye Clan, Mist Horn Clan and Lan Ling sect for him. However, Ning Fan was not willing to kill all the experts of the three great forces in one go just to save a Six-Winged Clan that he had a shallow relationship with. Now was not the time to shed all pretense of cordiality with forces of this level. This time, Ning Fan was only prepared to protect the Six-Winged Clan from being annihilated. He was not prepared to kill all the top experts of the three great forces. With Ning Fan's dual identities as a revered elder of the Rain Palace and a distinguished guest of the Zhou clan, it was enough to make the three great forces wary. Even if he only kills some small fries, the three great forces would not dare to go against him. It was enough to protect the Six-Winged Clan from being annihilated. If I hand over the Devil Statue Slate to the Ghost Eye Clan and Mist Horn Clan, the Six-Winged Clan would not be annihilated because of Ning Fan's reputation. However, the appearance of this Devil Statue Slate is a little strange. The time when the abnormal phenomenon of devil blood staining the blue sky appeared was not long after I killed Mo Luo and obtained his devil blood. I wonder if there's any connection between these two events. In order to be cautious, I must get my hands on the Devil Statue Slate before handing it over to the two clans. I might even make a copy of it and study it carefully. Perhaps the content recorded in this Devil Statue Slate can help me completely devour Mo Luo's blood. Rumble, rumble, rumble. From afar, the Six-Winged Clan could be seen. Smoke was already rising everywhere. The place was in ruins and the sounds of battle could be heard everywhere. In the deep sea, the great elder of the Six-Winged Clan was bathed in blood. He was fighting against 4 experts. His body was full of wounds and his blood flowed like a river. However, he still refused to surrender. Xian Yi, quickly hand over the Devil Statue Slate and I can leave your corpse intact. A burly man in black armor with a single horn on his head and a strong early Void Refinement Realm cultivation base smiled coldly. Each of his punches could cause the mountains to collapse and the earth to crack. The great elder was in a difficult situation. Gui Jiao. Dream on. This slate recorded the method to get rid of the slave mark and 1/4 of the cultivation method of Mo Luo's ancestral talisman. This is the only hope of my Six-Winged Clan to get rid of Mo Luo's slave mark forever. Even if I die, I will never hand over the slate to you. Hee hee. Since Great Elder Xian Yi is unwilling to hand over the Devil Statue Slate, don't blame me for being merciless. Lu Jiefan let out a few hollow laughs in a gloomy manner. Then, he took out a demon dagger axe made of purple flames and slashed at Xian. The power of that single strike was enough to burn the mountains and boil the seas. It was already infinitely close to a Void Refinement Realm attack. Xian Yi was fighting against 4 experts at the same time. He focused all his attention on dealing with 2 Void Glimpse stage experts and only used his remaining strength to deal with Lu Jiefan and the other 2 illusory Void stage experts. He did not expect that Lu Jiefan would have such a powerful trump card at all. As he was distracted for a moment, one of his arms was directly cut off by the fire dagger axe. He let out a cry of pain and his chi became chaotic. This gave the other 3 experts an opportunity to attack him with all their might. In an instant, his injuries became even more severe and he was almost going to die. Xian Yi glared at Lu Jiefan furiously. He knew that he was not far from death, but he could not die in peace. Lu Jiefan, you're just a divine transformation realm ant. If you didn't become a lackey of the Ghost Eye clan, how could you be bestowed with a devil pill and reach the illusory void stage? I can't accept being ambushed and killed by an ant like you. I can't accept this. Humph. You're courting death. Lu Jiefan's old eyes turned gloomy. He hated being called an ant by others the most. He would take revenge on everyone who had humiliated him in the past, be it Xian Yi or Ning Fan. Of course, in Lu Jiefan's eyes, Ning Fan was far more unfathomable than Xian Yi. Before Lu Jiefan truly breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm, He would continue to pretend to be afraid of Ningfan until the day he breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm and obtains the power to suppress Ningfan. At that time, he would avenge his humiliation. He changed his hand seal and controlled the fiery dagger axe to slash at Xian Yi's dantian. The power of this single attack was enough to kill Xian Yi, who was currently in a weakened state. Xian Yi's eyes were bloodshot. His eye sockets looked as if they were going to burst. It was not easy for the unusual phenomenon in the sky and the appearance of the slate. He finally saw the hope of saving the Six-Winged Clan. He could not accept the fact that the Six-Winged Clan was annihilated at this critical moment. I can't accept this. Xian ignited his devil blood. His eyes were like that of an ancient devil. Starlight condensed on his palms. He wanted to use all of his strength to display the star-punishing bow and block the attack of the fiery dagger axe. At this moment, several figures descended from the sky. The white-robed young man who led the group raised his finger indifferently and pointed at the fiery dagger axe. That fiery dagger axe, which was almost a void treasure, trembled violently under the tremendous force of Ningfan's finger. At the next moment, the cracks on it were mended and the spiritual light it gave off was greatly reduced. Then, it shattered with a loud bang. A single finger had destroyed a half-step void treasure. Only a cultivator with the metal body refinement realm could have such a terrifying physical body. Who is it? How dare you obstruct my plans? Lu Jiefen's heart was filled with rage when his magic treasure was destroyed. He glared at the white-robed young man. However, as soon as he saw the young man's appearance, Lu Jiefen's eyes were filled with shock. There was even a hint of undetectable hatred in his eyes. That hatred was extremely deep. From the broken world to the Star Palace and then to the external endless sea, Lu Jiefen was forced to tolerate Ningfan's provocations time and time again. It was not because he was magnanimous but because he could tolerate it. Being able to tolerate it did not mean that he did not hate Ningfan. Zhou Ming, it's you. Have you become a cultivator with the metal body refinement realm? No, you're not. Your physical body isn't at the golden body refinement realm yet. According to rumors, when a cultivator with the golden body refinement realm throws a punch, there must be 10,000 rays of golden light protecting their body. You're not a cultivator with the golden body refinement realm. Lu Jiefen purposely reminded the other three experts that Ningfan was not a cultivator with the golden body refinement realm. Although he pretended to be afraid of Ningfan on the surface, he was secretly planning to kill Ningfan with a borrowed knife. By pointing out that Ningfan was not a cultivator with the golden body refinement realm, he wanted the other three experts to look down on him and kill him. Zhou Ming, even though you have the protection of the Rain Palace and Yun Tianjue as well as 3 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets, you obviously don't put the Ghost Eye Clan, the Mist Horn Clan and the Lan Ling sect in your eyes by openly interfering in the battle for the slate today. If you leave now, I can plead on your behalf to spare you from the death penalty for the sake of our old friendship. Lu Jiefen was pleading on Ningfan's behalf, but in reality, he was putting a high hat on Ningfan's head, slandering him by saying that he came here to snatch the slate. As soon as they heard that Ningfan came to snatch the slate, the expressions of the 2 Void Glimpse stage old monsters of the Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan turned cold. Lu Jiefen, your pleading is useless. If this Zhou Ming really came here to snatch the devil statue slate, no matter what identity he has, he will be a great enemy of the Mist Horn Clan and the Ghost Eye Clan. We must kill him. Even if he has 3 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets, he is still not a threat to us. Very well. Before Ningfan could state his purpose of coming here, Lu Jiefen had already stirred up the situation, trying to make Ningfan fall in love with the experts of the Ghost Eye Clan and the Mist Horn Clan. As for him, by killing Ningfan with a borrowed knife, he would have a chance to snatch the devil statue slate from Ningfan after the situation is stirred up. He wanted to find out what exactly was hidden in the slate. Ningfan's eyes turned cold. This Lu Jiefen is still the same as before. His ambition is not small and he likes to make use of others. He made use of Li Ban and the other demon generals, the White Devil sect and every single person that he can make use of. Since he dared to scheme against the Imperial Star and the Devil Statue slate, There was really nothing that he did not dare to do. It seems like I can no longer spare this person today. If this person gains power, he will certainly become a great threat to me. He will definitely settle the scores with me. Ning Fan's killing intent had already been triggered. He must kill Lu Jiefan today. At first, he wanted to negotiate with everyone with kind words. Now, however, it seemed like there was no need to negotiate anymore. It was the Ghost Eye clan and the Misthorn clan who came to him on their own accord. He gently placed his hand on Yu Lingkong's shoulder and said indifferently, "You heir, how long will it take for you to defeat the four of them?" "At most the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. I will certainly beat them up badly." Yu Lingkong revealed a conceited and domineering expression. She took a step forward and her traveling light dashed forward rapidly like the faint moonlight. "What?" The four experts including Lu Jiefan were greatly surprised. From Ning Fan's tone, they could tell that he did not intend to use his 3 Void Refinement Realm spiritual puppets to deal with the mess of the Six-Winged Clan this time. Instead, he wanted to let Yu Lingkong fight the four of them alone. In their eyes, Yu Lingkong was just a half-step Void Refinement Realm expert. A half-step Void Refinement Realm expert fighting against 2 Void Glimpse stage experts and 2 Illusory Void stage experts. Moreover, she even said that she could defeat the four of them within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. What an extremely arrogant statement. Lu Jiefan and the other 3 people immediately surrounded Yu Lingkong and attacked her. Since Yu Lingkong wanted to die, they certainly would not show any mercy. Especially Lu Jiefan. A hint of viciousness flashed across his eyes. He heard that Yu Lingkong was Ning Fan's woman. If he kills her, Ning Fan would certainly feel heartache and he would be able to achieve his goal of revenge. In the past, I was just a half-step Void Refinement Realm cultivator. I'm not as strong as Yu Lingkong. However, after obtaining the devil pill given to me by the Ghost Eye clan, I have already touched the bottleneck of the Void Refinement Realm. Now, I can be considered as an illusory Void Stage cultivator. Moreover, I still have 2 Void Glimpse stage cultivators and 1 Illusory Void stage cultivator to help me. Killing Yu Lingkong will be a piece of cake. Lu Jiefan stealthily took out a purple flame golden dart. He activated his magic power and launched a sneak attack on Yu Lingkong. His actions were not hidden from Yu Lingkong's divine sense, causing her to reveal a trace of disdain. "Lu Jiefan, you're still so weak and despicable. I don't care if you want to harm others, but if you want to harm little cucumber, you're dead meat." Yu Lingkong's face was as cold as frost. Her killing intent was shocking. With a wave of his hand, he sent out 4 beams of moonlight toward the 4 of them. When the moonlight that was as light as cotton fell into Yu Lingkong's hands, it turned into the most dangerous killing weapon. Boom! 4 rays of moonlight light lashed on the bodies of the 4 old monsters. Their attacks were extremely close to the Void Inquiry stage. 4 earth-shattering explosions resounded from 4 different directions, directly shattering the chest armor of the 2 Void Glimpse stage experts and inflicting light injuries on them. The physical bodies of Lu Jiefan and the other 2 Illusory Void stage experts were on the verge of shattering and they were severely injured. Lu Jiefan, in particular, received special attention from Yu Lingkong. A beam of moonlight directly injured Lu Jiefan's demon soul, causing him to cough out blood incessantly. He was not far from death. The 4 of them could not believe that Yu Lingkong, who was rumored to be just a half-step Void Refinement Realm expert, was actually an early Void Refinement Realm old monster. Moreover, she was an unrivaled existence among Void Glimpse stage experts who could give Ghost Eye Misthorn a great sense of danger. Ning Fan nodded his head. Yu Lingkong's toughness was within his expectation. However, Fan Chi's tiny primordial spirit on his shoulder covered her mouth with her small hands at this moment. Her face was filled with disbelief. Previously, she only thought that Yu Lingkong's words of fighting against the 4 of them were just arrogant words to boast about herself. Only now did she understand exactly how strong Yu Lingkong was. What she said just now was not boasting at all. She was just stating the truth. Is this the true strength of venerated Moon? Even the Great Elder is no match for her. However, I still can't understand why such a strong expert would be willing to be venerated Ming's woman. Why would she be willing to offend the three great forces for venerated Ming? Does venerated Ming really have such great charm? Why can't I see it at all? Fan Qi's beautiful eyes were completely stunned. She carefully looked at Ning Fan. His thin and weak figure made her even more puzzled. She could not understand what was so good about Ning Fan that he could make Yu Lingkong follow him in life and death. Chapter 439. Yu Lingkong's black hair cascaded down like a waterfall and her eyes were bright like the moon. Her white hands brandished streaks of moonlight, dispersing all the attacks from the four enemy cultivators. Standing in the dim moonlight, Yu Lingkong was like a celestial concubine. Her movements were graceful, but every move she made was tyrannical and oppressive. The Void Glimpse stage expert of the Mist Horn clan was called Gui Jiao. He was a burly man with a single horn and black armor. His physical body was extremely strong and he was already not far away from attaining the Golden Body realm. His single horn was especially powerful. It was as thick as a rhinoceros horn. When a single horn of his horn collided with something, it could flatten a mountain and fill up the sea. Its destructive power was a notch higher than ordinary low-grade mortal void magic treasures. However, after being swept by Yu Lingkong's moonlight waterfall, which she casually brandished several times, the devil horn that Gui Jiao was so proud of was actually broken by the moonlight waterfall. Gui Jiao let out a furious roar, but he was unable to do anything to Yu Lingkong. The Void Glimpse stage expert of the Ghost Eye clan was called Wang Liang. There was a vertical ghost eye on his glabella. Apart from that, there were strange eyes on his arms, neck, stomach, and other parts of his body. There were more than 50 ghost eyes on his body. This was the Ghost Eye clan's innate secret art, the thousand-eyed demon eyes. In the Ghost Eye clan, no one could cultivate 1,000 eyes other than the Ghost Eye clan's Grand Elder. Each time Wang Liang attacked, more than 50 ghost eyes would spew out black flames. The layers of black flames merged into one. Even a Void Glimpse stage expert at the same level as him would find it hard to defend against them. Facing Wang Liang's ghost-eyed black fire, Yu Lingkong just swept out with her moon chains and shattered them one by one. Then, she pointed her finger in the air. Millions of rays of moonlight were like flying needles, suddenly piercing into Wang Liang's ghost eyes, blinding him. It was extremely difficult for him to recover. Wang Liang let out a painful roar, and his eyes revealed a deep fear. The illusory void of the Lan Ling sect was called Luo Song. He was only a step away from breaking through to the void refinement realm. His strength was far inferior to Yu Lingkong's, but by relying on the 9-segment bamboo whip in his hand, he was able to block Yu Lingkong's moon attacks time and time again. The 9-segment bamboo whip was only an imitation artifact, but it was already so powerful. If it was a source box, it would definitely be even more powerful. Although he was barely able to block Moondrill's attack, every time the bamboo whip collided with Moondrill, Luo Song's chest would be jolted by the force of the collision, causing his qi and blood to churn and aggravating his injuries. After a few exchanges of blows, Yu Lingkong raised her wrist, and moonlight pressed down like a mountain or an ocean, causing the 9 segments of the bamboo whip to be unable to resist, and it shattered into 9 segments with a bang. Luo Song's eyes were filled with horror when he saw the bamboo whip shattering and the moonlight pressing down on him like a mountain. He took out a silver talisman and slapped it on his chest. His body turned into a ray of silver light and retreated hastily with a speed comparable to a Void Glimpse stage expert. However, even though Luo Song retreated quickly, the moonlight suppressed him even faster. Crescent blades slashed down, and Luo Song screamed in pain as one of his arms was severed. His face was as pale as paper, and his heart was filled with fear. Yu Lingkong's strength made him deeply fearful. Lu Jiefan was bombarded by layers of moons. He had a misconception that although Yu Lingkong was attacking 4 people at the same time, most of the firepower was concentrated on him. Damn it! I know that my hostility towards Zhou Ming and Yu Lingkong has been deeply hidden and I have never exposed it. Why am I being attacked by Yu Lingkong? This bitch has actually broken through to the void refinement realm. Moreover, she is at the level where she is unrivaled among Void Glimpse stage experts. Even if I break through the illusory Void realm and advance to the true Void refinement realm, I might not necessarily be her match. Damn it. Damn it. Why is it that every time I plan something big, Zhou Ming always interferes with me? I can't accept this. Lu Jiefen's old eyes turned gloomy. He took out supreme treasures from his storage pouch again and again. His yin-yang purple flame mirror was originally the magic treasure that he relied on the most. However, it was destroyed helplessly when it was attacked by the realm beast in the Star Palace. His fire dagger axe was also a decent magic treasure. However, it was destroyed by Ning Fan with just a finger. His purple flame golden dart was also a hidden weapon magic treasure that he had spent a lot of effort to refine. Even a true Void Refinement Realm expert would be injured if they were to be ambushed by this golden dart. However, this golden dart was destroyed by Yu Lingkong with a single moon ray. He took out his bronze hammer, the black iron cauldron and the flying sword, which was a spiritual treasure that shone with various colors. Each of the magic treasures was a rare treasure. Many of them were even useful to Void Refinement Realm old monsters. However, these magic treasures could not stop any of Yu Lingkong's attacks at all. Under her almost overbearing moon ray, they would usually shatter with just a single strike, turning into pieces of broken magic treasures. Every time Lu Jiefen lost a magic treasure, he would feel extremely pained. Those were supreme treasures that he had spent a lot of effort to find. He stared at Yu Lingkong with eyes filled with hatred. If he could survive today, he would definitely endure hardships and achieve a breakthrough in his cultivation realm. In the future, he would definitely take revenge and make Yu Lingkong beg for death. His hatred did not escape Ning Fan's eyes. From Lu Jiefen's eyes, Ning Fan could see the hatred he had for Yu Er. It was impossible for him to let Lu Jiefen do whatever he wants again in order to avoid raising a tiger that would bring trouble in the future. Today, he would definitely not give Lu Jiefen another chance to escape. Xian Yi, the great elder of the Six-Winged clan who was standing at the side, was saved by Ning Fan when he was on the brink of death. His eyes were filled with gratitude. If it wasn't for Ning Fan, Xian Yi and the Six-Winged clan would certainly be annihilated. Xian Yi had never expected that Ning Fan would actually be so strong. Crushing a half-step void treasure with a single finger, possessing 3 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets and an unrivaled Void Glimpse stage woman who was willing to risk her life for him. Xian Yi was extremely shocked by Yu Lingkong's strength. He was very glad that he had made the wisest decision in befriending Ning Fan in the past. Ning Fan stood side by side with the female corpse, keeping watch for Yu Lingkong. He did not have the intention to save the other members of the Six-Winged clan. On Ning Fan's shoulder was the primordial spirit of a woman whose qi was weak. When Xian Yi took a closer look, he realized that the woman was obviously Fen Qi. Fen Qi. This woman has a special identity. Why is she with venerated Ming? Judging from Fen Qi's injuries, the injuries she suffered were caused by the magic techniques of the Ghost Eye clan and the Misthorn clan. In other words, she was injured by the enemy and was saved by venerated Ming? I wonder if venerated Ming saved her by chance or because he found out about her special identity and did it on purpose? Judging from venerated Ming's attitude, even though he is willing to save me, he won't save the other members of the Six-Winged clan. It makes sense. This person is cold and indifferent. He won't do anything without benefits. He saved me just to save me and help him activate the revival platform. As for the survival of the Six-Winged clan and the casualties of the other members, he naturally wouldn't care. It seems like I still have to save the other members of the clan by myself. Since Xian Yi could become the great elder of a clan, he was naturally not a weakling. His mind raced and he had already figured out many things. Looking at the countless casualties of the Six-Winged clan, Xian Yi let out a sigh. Ning Fan had helped him block the 4 great experts. However, the low-grade cultivators of the Six-Winged clan were still far weaker than the 4 major forces. If no one intervenes, the low-grade cultivators of the Six-Winged clan would probably be wiped out in another 2 hours. Since Ning Fan did not save them, Xian Yi could only save himself. Xian Yi, of course, would not blame Ning Fan for being cold-blooded. Ning Fan was not a member of the Six-Winged Clan. Why would he fight for the sake of the clan? Ning Fan was already showing mercy to Xian Yi by being willing to save him. Thus, Xian Yi naturally would not force him to do anything. Ignite my devil blood. Today, even if I have to suffer severe injuries and fall to the Void Refinement Realm, I must protect the Six-Winged Clan from being annihilated. Black devil flames burned on Xian Yi's 6 wings. He burned his bloodline and cultivation base to forcefully suppress his injuries. Then he turned into a ray of devil light and dashed towards the battlefields, killing countless enemy cultivators with thunderous methods. Among the enemy cultivators, there were many nascent Soul Realm and Divine Transformation Realm old monsters. However, in the eyes of Xian Yi, who was at the Void Refinement Realm, these old monsters were just ants. How could they withstand a single attack from him? Besides, he was currently burning his devil blood and was already in a desperate state. No one could stop him unless they were Void Glimpse stage experts who were at the same level as him. The enemy cultivators in the battlefields were all slaughtered by Xian Yi. It was a bloody battle. Be it the Six-Winged Clan, the Misthorn Clan, the Ghost Eye Clan, the Lanling Sect, or the Demon Sealing Palace, Ning Fan did not care at all about who would live and who would die. The Six-Winged Clan was facing the danger of being annihilated. Although it seemed pitiful, it did not deserve his sympathy at all. If Ning Fan's strength was weak, he would have been hunted down by the entire clan when he became enemies with the Six-Winged Clan in the past. The reason why the Six-Winged Clan befriended Ning Fan and did not dare to take revenge was because they were afraid of Ning Fan's strength. Who knew if the Six-Winged Clan would turn around and bite Ning Fan like Lu Jiefan when they become stronger in the future? In this world, the human heart was the most unpredictable thing. Therefore, Ning Fan was very willing to watch the Six-Winged Clan being annihilated. It could also eliminate a hidden danger. As long as he kept Xian Yi alive and activated the revival platform for him, it would be enough. Venerated Ming, please save my clan. Fen Qi sat on Ning Fan's shoulder. Her heart was burning with anxiety. Finally, she could not help but plead with him. What benefits will I get? Ning Fan said coldly. Benefits. Venerated Ming saved my clan when it was in danger, and you will gain the favor of my clan. Is that so? I don't think saving the Six-Winged Clan will gain any favor from me. If it wasn't for today's great calamity, I'm afraid there would be many members of the Six-Winged Clan who would target me when I enter the clan. Miss Fen Qi, don't you think so? Fen Qi was speechless. Ning Fan's guess was right. The revival platform was a treasure of the Six-Winged Clan that would not be passed down to others. It had a shocking healing effect. However, it would never be used by outsiders. Even though Xian Yi had agreed to lend Ning Fan the revival platform, there were many voices of opposition within the clan. They could not change the Great Elder's order, but they secretly plotted to teach Ning Fan a lesson after he enters the Six-Winged Clan. However, they did not expect that the Devil Statue Slate would appear at this moment and bring a great disaster to the Six-Winged Clan. The Six-Winged Clan was about to be annihilated. How could they still have the mood to plot against Ning Fan? The Six-Winged Clan was a wolf. It was the wolf of the East. Unless Ning Fan was a fool, he would never save a wolf. But it's coming. The female corpse suddenly made her move. Her small hand pointed in a direction where there was no one. Her eyes were cold and noble. Ning Fan's eyes were filled with surprise. Even with the strength of his spirit sense and the Fu Li eye, he did not see anyone coming. As her sea of consciousness recovered, she became stronger and stronger. Ning Fan did not doubt her words at all. It was not only because he trusted her but also because he could gradually feel a vast aura force approaching from the distant sea current. A Void Inquiry stage old monster. Moreover, it was at the unrivaled Void Inquiry stage. Come back. Just when Yu Lingkong was about to kill Lu Jiefan, Ning Fan suddenly spoke and forcefully called her back to his side to protect her. Little cucumber, why did you call me back? I am about to kill Lu Jiefan and help you vent your anger. Yu Lingkong was rather dissatisfied. However, she did not disobey Ning Fan's words and obediently returned to her side. Someone is coming. Ning Fan explained with a solemn expression. At the next moment, a strong aura force that made the air suffocate came from afar. It was a cold and arrogant man. He wore luxurious clothes and a crown on his head, making him look like a young emperor. His appearance made Luo Song of the Lan Ling sect loosen his brows. He seemed to have expected that this person would come. Gui Jiao and Wang Liang were taken aback by his appearance. His appearance made Lu Jiefen's expression change greatly. His face was filled with an expression of miscalculation. I didn't expect that this person is also determined to get the devil statue slate. Damn it. I knew that the reason why the Lan Ling sect got involved in this matter was not because they were bribed by the Ghost Eye clan. With this person around, the chances of obtaining the devil statue slate are slim. However, as long as this person is here, no matter how many Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets Zhou Ming has or how strong Yu Lingkong is, it will all be futile. In the Rain world, who below the Void Fragmentation realm can go against this person? Lu Jiefen was worried about his personal gains and losses, but just like the other three experts, they all stopped and waited for this person to arrive. All the battles within the Six-Winged clan were stopped because of the arrival of this man. The experts of the four great forces all retreated to the side, no longer fighting. Like a flash of mist, the man who was hundreds of thousands of miles away from the Six-Winged clan appeared in the sky above the ruins of the Six-Winged clan. This evil man was dressed like a young emperor. There was a cinnabar between his eyebrows, but it added a bit of evil temperament to him. His aura was vast and upright. It was the aura of the profound sect's righteous path. However, his gaze was colder than most of the demonic cultivators. I, Lan Ling, am here for one thing. Anyone who dares to compete with me for the treasure shall die. This young emperor was actually the famous youth of the previous generation in the Rain world, Prince of Lan Ling. Chapter 440. This young emperor was actually the famous youth of the previous generation in the Rain world, Prince of Lan Ling. However, rumor has it that King Lan Ling was clearly a half-step void fragmentation realm expert. The cultivation base that he was showing right now was only at the void inquiry stage. It was a little strange. When Ning Fan took a closer look, he found some clues. The King Lan Ling in front of him was actually his second soul and not his main body. There should be many people who could see through the identity of King Lanling's second soul. But even if King Lanling's second soul came, no one would dare to fight back. As soon as Xian Yi saw this person, his eyes were filled with despair. If this person wants to exterminate the Six-Winged clan, Ning Fan would not be able to protect the Six-Winged clan no matter how powerful his means are. Fortunately, this person only wanted to snatch the slate. The slate would most likely not be able to protect it. However, it was unknown if Six-Winged would be lucky enough to survive after handing over the slate. Yu Lingkong's beautiful eyes were filled with astonishment. She was ready to open the moon portals and bring Ning Fan away at any time. It was enough to show how much she feared King Lan Ling. Little cucumber, let's get ready to run. We can't afford to offend this Prince of Lan Ling. In the Rain world, no one below the void fragmentation realm can go against him. Don't worry. This person did not come with his true body. It's just his second primordial spirit. Even if it's just his second primordial spirit, it's still not to be underestimated. Rumor has it that King Lan Ling is able to kill ordinary void pierce stage experts with just his second primordial spirit. Her tone was filled with worry. She was worried about Ning Fan's safety. She did not know since when the slightest trace of Ning Fan's safety was enough to affect her nerves. Don't worry. The hostility of this Prince of Lan Ling is not focused on us. Instead, it is focused on the Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan. He claimed that he came to the Six-Winged clan to seize an item, and that item is most likely the Devil Statue Slate. Interesting. On the surface, this Lan Ling sect seems to be allied with the Mist Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan. I wonder what kind of agreement they have. However, just as the slate was about to be obtained, King Lan Ling personally came to snatch the slate, intending to keep it for himself. As the ancients said, benefits make people fight. People who cooperate because of benefits will also fall apart because of benefits. Just as Ning Fan expected, as soon as King Lan Ling appeared, his spirit sense locked onto Gui Jiao and Wang Liang. It was likely that he had the intention to keep the slate for himself. Even though Yu Lingkong was powerful, she was merely at the level where she was unrivaled among Void Glimpse stage experts. Without a strong background, she was not worthy of Prince Lanling's attention. The only ones that Prince Lanling was afraid of were the forces behind Ghost Horn and Wang Liang, the Mist Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan. The Ghost Eye clan, in particular, would be king of Lanling's greatest opponent in the battle for the Devil's Statue Slate. Xian Yi, hand over the Devil's Statue Slate to this king. The cold words of the king of Lanling brought with it an unimaginable might that pressed down on Xian. For the severely injured Xian Yi, this might was unbearable. Xian Yi's eyes were filled with fear. Under King Lanling's suppression, he actually felt like he was suffocating. If there were only Void Glimpse stage old monsters fighting for the slate, he would still dare to fight them. But even an expert like King Lanling was here, so naturally Xian Yi couldn't keep the stone slab. His gaze was conflicted. The content carved on the Devil's Statue slate was extremely ancient and profound. It was cryptic and hard to understand. What was even more strange was that the words would change after a certain period of time. With Xian Yi's research, he could only roughly understand that there were methods to release slave patterns and condense an ancestral fiend remnant talisman. What caught Xian Yi's attention the most was that there seemed to be a vast power sealed within the slate. He did not know what it was, but it seemed to be the source of the power that was changing the words. Xian Yi copied the words on the slate again and again. Each time, the words were different. He deeply understood that without the sealing power within the slate, these cryptic and changing words would be meaningless and he would not be able to release the slave marks of the Six-Winged clan. Therefore, he was absolutely unwilling to hand over the slate unless he could decipher its secrets. As King Lanling arrived, Xian Yi finally had no other choice but to take out the slate. It was a dark green ancient slate. It was emitting a faint ancient devil chi which was ancient and heavy. As soon as Xian Yi took it out, it immediately attracted everyone's attention. Many old monsters revealed looks of greed. They secretly released their spirit sense to find out what the words on the slate were. However, after examining it, the expressions of countless old monsters changed. Not only were the words on the slate hard to understand, but they would also change after a certain period of time. Even Ning Fan's expression changed slightly. He too could not understand what was written on the slate. However, when he saw the slate and the words on it, he suddenly felt that the drop of Mo Luo's blood in his primordial spirit seemed to be boiling. The profound earth devil marks on his back began to burn and showed faint signs of advancing to the next level. This slate hid the secret of Mo Luo's blood. It also contained the mysterious power that allowed the devil marks to advance to the next level. Ning Fan secretly activated Mo Luo's eye and was immediately surprised. He realized that when he used Mo Luo's eye and looked at the words again, the words actually began to move. Eventually, they condensed into clear words again and no longer changed. Ning Fan was the only one who saw such a scene. What the others saw were still the words that kept changing. To Ning Fan's surprise, he sensed a vast amount of devil chi from the slate. That devil chi resonated with the Mo Luo's blood in his dantian. It was as if Ning Fan could extract the devil chi that was sealed in the slate with just a thought. As for the thing that caused the devil marks to show signs of advancing to the next level, it was that devil chi. Ning Fan was the only one in this place who could truly understand the slate. In the Rain world, Ning Fan was the only one who could extract the devil chi that was sealed in the slate. That trace of devil chi can allow my profound earth devil marks to advance to the next level and improve my body refinement realm. I have already memorized the words on this slate. As long as I extract another trace of devil chi from this slate, it will be equivalent to me obtaining all the value of this slate. At that time, it actually doesn't matter whether I want the slate or not. After extracting the devil chi from the slate and memorizing the real words on it, this slate is just like a chicken rib to me. However, outsiders such as Prince Lan Ling, the Mist Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan will still fight for this slate with all their might. I just need to extract the devil chi from it and they can fight for the slate. Ning Fan's eyes flashed. A plan to trick them gradually took shape in his mind. Prince Lan Ling's demand for the slate made Xian yield and countless experts not dare to fight for it. It made Gui Jiao and Wang Liang, the two Void Glimpse stage-old monsters, so angry that they gritted their teeth. How hateful! The Lan Ling sect kept saying that they would help the Ghost Eye clan to get the slate. However, in the end, they wanted to snatch the slate from the Six-Winged clan instead. The two of them hated the betrayal of the Lan Ling sect to the core. However, they did not dare to voice out their anger. It was all because Prince Lan Ling's reputation was too powerful. Luckily, the two clans were not easy to deal with. They had long been on guard against the betrayal of the Lan Ling sect. They had also sent their experts here but they had yet to arrive. Since Prince Lan Ling wanted the slate, no one in this place dared to have any ideas about it. Except for Ning Fan. Ning Fan took a step forward. Out of everyone's expectation, he stood in front of Xian Yi and gently took the slate. His eyes revealed a playful smile. I didn't expect so many people to come to fight for this slate. I'm a little curious. Just what is so special about a mere stone slab that everyone is desperately fighting over it? Great Elder Xian Yi, can you lend me the slate to have a look? Ning Fan took the slate and immediately activated Mo Luo's blood. With the power of blood, he extracted that trace of devil chi and sent it into his body. As soon as the devil chi entered his body, it immediately flowed into the devil marks on his back and began to fuse with them. All of a sudden, the devil chi on the slate was exhausted. The changes of the characters also began to slow down. However, no one could tell that the slate had undergone any changes from the surface. No one would have thought that Ning Fan would snatch the slate in front of Prince Lan Ling. It was like slapping Prince Lan Ling's face. Everyone noticed that at the moment Ning Fan took the slate to have a look, Prince Lan Ling's eyes flashed with killing intent. Prince Lan Ling wants this item but that Zhou Ming went to fight for it. He is just seeking his own death. Lu Jiefan sneered inwardly. He knew that Ning Fan was extremely bold. However, he did not expect that Ning Fan would dare to fight for the slate against Prince Lan Ling. Lu Jiefan also wanted to fight for the slate. However, he did not have the courage to do so in front of Prince Lan Ling. That would be courting death. How could little Cucumber be so reckless? Even though he has always been lawless, he always knows how to act appropriately. Now that he knows that Prince Lan Ling is determined to get this item, he still went to snatch this hot potato. There must be some deep meaning behind this. No matter what, even if I have to offend Prince Lan Ling, I will still help him. Get ready to open the moon portals and run away. Yu Ling Kong secretly formed hand seals, getting ready to summon the moon portals at any time to bring Ning Fan and the female corpse away. Everyone was guessing that Ning Fan would offend Prince Lan Ling to the extreme by snatching the slate. He might even be killed by Prince Lan Ling. However, no one expected that even though Prince Lan Ling's eyes were filled with killing intent, he still did not make a move to kill Ning Fan. He was actually enduring his killing intent. There would also be times when he, Prince Lan Ling, would not dare to kill anyone. As for Ning Fan, he was precisely the person whom the Rain Palace had repeatedly warned him not to hurt. You are the newly promoted revered elder of the Great Heaven Palace, Zhou Ming? You have the inextinguishable fire body and you are still useful to the Rain Sovereign. Even I have been ordered by the Rain Sovereign not to touch you for the time being. However, it doesn't mean that I can't kill your women and close relatives. If you provoke me, your women will pay for your foolishness. Hand over the slate and get lost. Every word that Prince Lan Ling said was a threat. In his eyes, Ning Fan was just an ant. The reason why he could not kill Ning Fan was because Ning Fan's inextinguishable fire body was of great use to the Rain Sovereign. He was a young man of the same generation as Yun Tinjue. Today, he was already at the half-step void fragmentation realm, and he had a great chance to break through to the void fragmentation realm in this lifetime. He was a supreme expert while Ning Fan was just a lowly weakling. Prince Lan Ling's threat made Ning Fan clench his fists and his eyes turn cold. What he could not tolerate the most was someone threatening his women. He had gone through a lot of trouble to obtain the protection of the Rain Palace and the Zhou clan just so that others would not dare to touch his women. Unfortunately, be it the deterrence of the Rain Palace or the Zhou clan, none of them were enough to make an expert at the level of Prince Lan Ling afraid. In the eyes of a half-step void fragmentation realm old monster, Ning Fan was still just an ant. He was just slightly bigger than the other ants. He had to recognize his own strength, and he had to become even stronger. Ning Fan's killing intent had already been triggered. However, he quickly dispersed it and his expression remained unchanged as if he was planning something. His plan to harm the Lan Ling sect would not change. Admittedly, Ning Fan's current strength was far from enough to fight against Prince Lan Ling. However, harming others was not directly related to strength. Today, if he does not make the Lan Ling sect, the Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan fight each other and suffer great losses, he would have cultivated the Devil Dao for nothing. Ning Fan glanced afar. From that direction he could feel two strong qi rushing to their aid. Two Void Inquiry stage old monsters. Judging from their qi, one of them was from the Ghost Eye clan while the other was from the Mist Horn clan. Without thinking too much, they must have come to fight for the slate. The Lan Ling sect wanted to keep the slate for themselves. The other two clans were not fools. They also had the same intention. Very well. Everyone wants to snatch the slate from the Six-Winged clan. However, none of them knew that Ning Fan had tampered with the slate and it was already a useless slate. I'll use this useless slate to make the Lan Ling sect, the Mist Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan fight each other. If he muddied the waters, he might be able to sneak into the Mist Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan in the future and steal the Devil Statue slate of both clans. Prince Lan Ling, is it? I Zhou will remember you. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with a hint of cold light. Suddenly, he waved his hand and tossed the useless slate to Prince Lan Ling. Then he pulled the female corpse and Yu Ling Kong to their feet and transmitted his voice to them. There's nothing for us to do here anymore. Next, let's watch the show. Prince Lan Ling's emotionless eyes were moved for the first time when he saw Ning Fan's cold eyes. Somehow, he felt a chill in his heart when he saw Ning Fan's smile. It was an instinctive sense of danger. He, the dignified Prince Lan Ling, actually felt a trace of danger from Ning Fan's cold smile. But how is this possible? It's probably just an illusion. This young man is just a divine transformation realm junior. It's unknown whether he can achieve the void refinement realm or not in this lifetime. He's not worth mentioning. Even if he is given tens of thousands of years and attains the void refinement realm by luck, he is definitely not a match for me. He's just an ant. How can an ant like him make me feel threatened? Prince Lan Ling was still looking down on Ning Fan. However, he did not expect that his threat today had already touched Ning Fan's bottom line. Ning Fan would have to pay the price in the future. He kept the slate and stared coldly at the two figures who were rushing towards him from afar. They were getting closer and closer to him. Lan Ling, you really have bad intentions. How dare you snatch the greatest treasure of our 4 clans of the Hidden Ocean? You're courting death. The experts of the Mist Horn clan and Ghost Eye clan who were rushing to help the Void Inquiry stage roared furiously. Just a few devils who have been suppressed by the Thunder Sovereign. How dare you speak to me like this? Courting death? Let's see who is the one who is courting death. Lan Ling took a step forward and raised his palm, sending the 2 Void Inquiry stage experts flying away. His combat strength was so strong that it was unprecedented. The expressions of the 2 Void Inquiry stage experts changed drastically. They did not dare to be careless and used all of their strength to display their secret techniques to fight Lan Ling together. Finally, they were barely able to hold their ground. The 3 of them fought against each other. The battlefield was getting further and further away from the Six-Winged clan. At this moment, no one cared about the life and death of the Six-Winged clan anymore. All of their attention was focused on obtaining the slate. The experts of the 3 great forces, the Mist Horn clan, the Ghost Eye clan and the Lan Ling sect, also followed the 3 old monsters and left. Along the way, the three great forces fought against each other and blood flowed like a river. There was no such thing as an eternal friend. A slate was enough to turn the three great forces into enemies. On the ruins of the Six-Winged Clan, only the members of the Demon Sealing sect could not leave. The three great forces had already left. Lu Jiefan wanted to leave, but he was heavily surrounded by the members of the Six-Winged Clan. The Demon Sealing sect had killed countless people in the Six-Winged Clan. Without the other three great forces following them, Great Elder Xian Yi did not put Lu Jiefan in his eyes at all. It was time for him to repay the humiliation and hatred he had suffered previously. Kill! As Xian Yi gave the order, the experts of the Six-Winged Clan swarmed out and charged at the members of the Demon Sealing sect fearlessly. In just an instant, the cultivators of the Demon Sealing sect suffered heavy casualties. Lu Jiefan took out a teleportation formation disc. He was ready to run. At this moment, a mocking voice suddenly resounded behind him. Trying to leave? It's too late. Boom Ning Fan pointed his finger and a huge force landed on Lu Jiefan's back. Lu Jiefan had been cautious his entire life. This time, when he came to the Six-Winged Clan to stir up trouble, he had pasted more than 10 heart-protecting talismans on his back. All of the talismans were activated under Ning Fan's sneak attack. Each of the talismans turned into a ray of formation light which was enough to defend against the full force attack of a half-step Void Refinement Realm expert. However, these 10 layers of defense crumbled one after another in the face of the force of Ning Fan's finger. Lu Jiefan's expression changed greatly. Previously, he was certain that Ning Fan had yet to attain the Golden Body Realm. However, when he felt Ning Fan's finger at such a close distance, he clearly felt that Ning Fan's finger was not any weaker than any Golden Body Realm cultivator. That finger attack broke Lu Jiefan's armor. That finger attack still had some remaining force which landed on Lu Jiefan's back. In an instant his physical body collapsed, leaving behind only his half-dead demon soul. He carried his storage pouch and retreated hastily while coughing out blood due to his severe injuries. As for the teleportation formation disc, it had already been destroyed. It did not give Lu Jiefan any chance to escape at all. Zhou Ming! Lu Jiefan glared at Ning Fan and gnashed his teeth in anger. It was Ning Fan who ruined his plan again. If Ning Fan did not intervene, with Lu Jiefan's cunning he would definitely not end up like this. It was highly possible that he could even obtain the Devil Statue Slate. Once he obtains the Devil Statue Slate, Lu Jiefan could escape from the Endless Sea and find a secluded place to study the secrets of the slate. The world is vast. Who could capture him? After tens of thousands of years, when Lu Jiefan unravels the secrets of the slate, he would certainly become an expert whose name could shake the entire Rain world. Zhou Ming! I can't stand it anymore. I'm going to fight you to the death. Lu Jiefan's tiny demon soul suddenly took out an ancient puppet at the illusory void realm from his storage pouch. It was slightly damaged and he did not know where he got it from. His eyes were filled with hatred. This was his last trump card. He was not willing to use it. However, he must use it today. Otherwise, he would certainly not be able to survive from Ning Fan's hands. Puppet Fusion Technique. As soon as he activated the secret technique, Lu Jiefan's demon soul turned into a ray of light and shot into the illusory void realm puppet. He originally had the illusory void realm cultivation base. After refining the illusory void realm puppet, his cultivation base actually broke through the last bottleneck and advanced to the void refinement realm. From this moment onwards, he was no longer Lu Jiefan. He had become an early Void Refinement Realm Void Glimpse stage puppet. After merging with the puppet, Lu Jiefan only had 1/10 of his lifespan left. He would die in another 100 years. He no longer had the qualifications to pursue immortality. Zhou Ming! You've caused me to miss my fortuitous encounters time and time again. You've caused me to lose my physical body and become a half-dead puppet. I'll make you pay the price. Lu Jiefan's furious punch killed groups of people from the Six-Winged Clan. The destructive power of his punch was at the Void Glimpse stage. It flattened the mountain-sized boulders in the sea. Xian Yi's eyes were filled with surprise. Lu Jiefan, who had merged with the puppet, was almost as strong as Xian Yu. Lingkong's beautiful eyes were filled with killing intent. She blamed herself for being too weak and could not help Ning Fan snatch the slate from King Lan Ling. However, no matter how weak she was not so weak that she could tolerate Lu Jiefan attacking Ning Fan. She took a step forward and was about to attack Lu Jiefan with the moon burial technique. However, Ning Fan gently pulled her behind him. "Let me do it. After all, it's a void glimpse stage puppet. Don't break it." Void technique, twin dragons. Ning Fan took a step forward. Both of his fists were surrounded by the shadows of black dragons. When he threw out both of his fists, heaven and earth were filled with the roars of dragons. Wind and thunder rumbled. His physical body was comparable to the first level of the golden body realm. As for the twin dragons technique, it was the body technique that King Ying Long was proud of. Even though it was only at the low-grade mortal void realm, the destructive power of this technique was still top-notch even among low-grade mortal void realm experts. Even though Lu Jiefan had willingly become a void glimpse stage puppet, his strength was still worlds apart from Ning Fan's. Boom! Two black dragon fist shadows landed on the body of Lu Jiefan's puppet. With a violent tremor, all of his fist lights were instantly destroyed. Lu Jiefan could not believe it. He had given up everything in exchange for void glimpse stage strength, but he was still not Ning Fan's match. Ning Fan was actually this strong. Even until his death, he still could not believe that the gap between his strength and Ning Fan's was actually so huge. "I'm not willing to accept this." The shadow of the twin dragon fists landed on the puppet's body. The puppet was severely injured while Lu Jiefan's demon soul was directly destroyed. He was killed by the fist force. After Lu Jiefan died, this void glimpse stage puppet lost all of its spiritual intelligence and became a masterless object. Because Lu Jiefan had fused with it, the illusory void stage puppet broke through to the void glimpse stage. Because Ning Fan killed Lu Jiefan with his fists, the void glimpse stage puppet became a masterless object again. Even though this puppet was severely injured, it would become as good as new again after spending some immortal jade and spiritual ores to repair itself. "Lu Jiefan, I will accept your great gift." Ning Fan felt slightly relaxed. He had forgotten about the unhappiness caused by Prince Lan Ling. Lu Jiefan was a person who liked to seek personal gains. He was just like a fly. Wherever there was a fortune, he would want to get involved. Such a person must not be allowed to do as he pleases over and over again. Otherwise, one day, he would turn from a clown to a great threat. Killing Lu Jiefan today could also be considered as getting rid of a hidden danger. Chapter 441. To the Six-Winged Clan, the encirclement of the four great forces and the arrival of the Prince of Lanling were both shocking events. However, after the three major forces left, Ning Fan once again shocked the Six-Winged Clan. He killed Lu Jiefan with just one move. Killing a void glimpse stage expert with a single move. How could it not be shocking? When Lu Jiefan was at the end of his rope, he merged with his spiritual puppet and broke through to the void refinement realm. To any cultivator of the Six-Winged Clan, it was a nightmare. Lu Jiefan, who had just broken through to the void refinement realm, relied on the strength of his puppet body. Each of his punches carried the power to destroy heaven and earth, causing fear to rise in the hearts of countless members of the Six-Winged Clan. Even First Elder Xian Yi was deeply afraid of the current Lu Jiefan. However, Lu Jiefan was killed by Ning Fan's punches just after he showed off for a short while. That kind of scene was absolutely shocking. Countless experts were dumbfounded as they did not expect this to happen. What level of body skill is this? A pair of black dragon shadows appeared in his fists, capable of shattering the heavens and the earth and flattening the mountains and rivers. With one punch, a black dragon would fall, and with two punches, the heavens and the earth would die. This must be a type of mortal void body technique. Terrifying, truly terrifying. Was revered Ming really not a golden body realm body cultivator? The mortal void body technique could only be used by body cultivators at the golden body realm. If it wasn't for the fact that venerated Ming wasn't protected by the golden light when he punched, I would have definitely thought that venerated Ming was a true metal body cultivator. Even if revered Ming is not at the golden body realm, this punch is definitely stronger than that of an ordinary golden body cultivator. What? Venerated Ming was actually so powerful that his physical body was comparable to a golden body cultivator. This person was already so powerful by himself. After this battle, he would possess 4 Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppets and even have venerated Moon, who was an unrivaled beauty among the Void Glimpse stage followers. You can't provoke revered Ming. He alone has the strength to subdue our 6-winged clan. Sigh. No wonder the Grand Elder values this person so much and is willing to lend him the revival platform. Previously, we even schemed to harm venerated Ming. We were really courting death. Sighs, exclamations, and discussions of disbelief rose and fell within the 6-winged clan. Everyone was astounded by Ning Fan's terrifying strength when he killed Lu Jiefan. One of the 6 elders of the 6-winged clan, Hei Yi, who was at the peak divine transformation realm, was currently floating among the crowd with his tiny primordial spirit. He raised his head and looked at Ning Fan with a bitter smile. In the past, he had offended Ning Fan on Tianqi Island and his physical body was destroyed by Ning Fan. In the end, he was brought back to the clan by Great Elder Xian. He used to think that even though Ning Fan was stronger than him, it was only a small realm higher than him. Today, he knew that Ning Fan's strength was far beyond his imagination. It was enough for him to look up to him. Fan Qi sat on Ning Fan's shoulder. Her beautiful eyes were filled with astonishment. She had never thought that the ordinary-looking Ning Fan would have such formidable strength. Even if the Great Elder was in his peak state, he would not be able to kill Lu Jiefan with a single strike. However, Ning Fan had killed Lu Jiefan with just a single strike. This kind of strength was almost infinitely close to that of a Void Inquiry stage old monster. Venerated Ming is really amazing. Fan Qi had always had her eyes set high above her head. She looked down on any man. However, she admired Ning Fan from the bottom of her heart. Besides, what Fan Qi did not understand was that after Ning Fan devoured the devil Qi of the slate, she actually felt a sense of dependence towards him for some unknown reason. That's right. It was indeed a feeling of dependence. This sense of dependence was extremely strange. It did not come from the heart, but from the blood vessels. It was the trace of devil Qi in Ning Fan's body that made Fan Qi rely on him. That dependence was like the dependence of a servant on his master. She naturally did not know why, nor did she think about it. Great Elder Xian Yi's expression was calm, but his heart was filled with shock. Back then, he had once exchanged a move with Ning Fan and suffered a slight loss. At that time, he was already shocked by Ning Fan's strength. However, Xian Yi had never thought that Ning Fan would have the strength to kill a Void Glimpse stage expert. Since Ning Fan could casually kill Lu Jiefan, who was risking his life, he naturally could also easily kill Xian Yi, who was severely injured. I didn't expect venerated Ming to be so powerful. If he wants to use the revival platform of our 6-winged clan, who would be able to stop him? Today, our clan is facing a great calamity and countless of our clansmen have died. We can no longer afford to offend venerated Ming and naturally, we can't afford to offend him. Moreover, if it wasn't for revered Ming, I would have died under the siege, and the 6-winged clan would have been annihilated. In terms of gratitude, he could not afford to offend revered Ming. Today, the Lan Ling clan, the Misthorn clan, and the Ghost Eye clan have retreated. The 6-winged clan is fortunate enough to survive and survive. In the future, we must be careful. Not only must our 6-winged clan not provoke venerated Ming, we might even have to rely on venerated Ming's protection in order to survive. Cough, cough, cough. Xian Yi muttered to himself. Suddenly, he coughed violently. It turned out that the time limit of his self-damaging secret technique had passed, and his injuries had worsened. In order to save his clansmen, Xian Yi ignited his demonic blood and primordial spirit, suppressing his injuries, and went on a killing spree. Currently, Xian Yi had paid the price. His cultivation base had dropped from the Void Refinement Realm to a half-step Void Refinement Realm expert. He did not know if he would have the chance to advance to the Void Refinement Realm again in this lifetime. Great Elder. Revered Ming, I beg you to save the Great Elder. I beg you. Fen Qi's petite primordial spirit knelt on Ning Fan's shoulder and pleaded bitterly. Don't worry, Xian Yi is still useful to me, he won't die. Ning Fan glanced at Fen Qi from the corner of his eyes. His eyes were cold but his heart felt strange. He kept having a feeling that after devouring the devil Qi of the slate, he seemed to have formed an additional connection with Fen Qi. It was similar to a master-servant relationship. He flicked his finger and gave a pill to Xian Yi. It was a mid-grade 5th Revolution Divine Injury pill. Xian Yi received the pill and revealed a grateful expression. After consuming the pill, his injuries were slightly suppressed. Even though his cultivation base had dropped, at least his life was no longer in danger. His eyes flashed with hesitation. However, his expression became resolute at the next second. He clenched his teeth and cupped his fists at Ning Fan. Today, our six-winged clan has encountered a great calamity. If it wasn't for Revered Ming, our clan would certainly be annihilated. Revered Ming has done a great favor for our clan. From today onwards, if Revered Ming has any orders for our clan, you can just tell us directly. As long as it's within our capabilities, our clan will never decline. We will certainly complete Revered Ming's orders. As soon as Xian Yi's words fell, the members of the six-winged clan fell into silence. Those who had the slightest intelligence could tell what Xian Yi was implying. He actually wanted to submit to Ning Fan and serve him as their master. Ning Fan was not too surprised by Xian Yi's words. Currently, the members of the six-winged clan had suffered heavy casualties. Their great elder had fallen to the void refinement realm. Their strength was at its weakest. If they do not find a backer, they would probably be devoured by the Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan in a few days. There were two reasons why Xian Yi chose to submit to Ning Fan. Firstly, Ning Fan was strong. Secondly, Ning Fan's identity was special. Even King Lan Ling was afraid of Ning Fan's identity and did not dare to act recklessly. However, the matter of submitting to Ning Fan was of great importance. It was related to the survival of the clan. Naturally, it could not be decided with just a few words. Moreover, Xian Yi could only express his stance to Ning Fan first. The decision on whether to accept the six-winged clan's submission was still in Ning Fan's hands. Ning Fan's answer was no. Fellow Taoist Xian, you're exaggerating. I just came here to borrow the revival platform. The reason why I intervened a little was because I couldn't watch the six-winged clan being annihilated. As for the favor that I owe you, you don't have to mention it again. I have no interest in giving orders to the six-winged clan. Ning Fan returned the courtesy with a smile and tactfully rejected Xian Yi's submission. Currently, the six-winged clan was useless to Ning Fan. It was just a nuisance. Their clan was weak and they could be annexed by the Ghost Eye clan and the Mist Horn clan at any time. Ning Fan would not provoke powerful enemies for the sake of a mere six-winged clan. He did not like trouble and he was not a good person. Xian Yi gave a self-mocking smile. It was no wonder that Ning Fan would reject the six-winged clan's submission. When they were strong and prosperous, there were still grudges between them. However, after they had fallen, they wanted to submit to the six-winged clan. Who would be willing to clean up this mess? Fellow Taoist Joe, don't be in a hurry to reject me. Stay in my clan for a few days. After my clan is slightly rebuilt, we will open the revival platform for you to use. After that, I have a secret that I want to tell you. Fellow Taoist is a body cultivator. Perhaps your strength will increase tremendously because of this secret. At that time, you might change your mind and accept my clan's submission. Oh, a secret that can increase my strength tremendously? Since fellow Taoist Xian said so, I'm rather interested in that secret. Alright. If fellow Taoist's secret is really useful to me, it's not like I can't accept the six-winged clan's submission. Let's talk about the revival platform first. How long will it take before it can be activated? The activation of the revival platform requires the preparation of many devil sacrifices and formations. Due to the great calamity this time, many of the devil sacrifices died. We need to find a new suitable devil sacrifice. A few of the formations were destroyed and we need to prepare them again. However, most of the formations are still intact. In at most half a month, I can prepare the revival platform for fellow Taoists to use. Half a month, huh? Ning Fan nodded his head. During this half a month, he could temporarily stay in the Six-Winged Clan. The members of the Six-Winged Clan who died needed to be buried. The clan's protective grand formation, residences, and other buildings needed to be rebuilt. Xian Yi had arranged a lot of matters. Since he still needed to recuperate and heal his injuries, he also ordered someone to bring Ning Fan to rest. It was unknown if it was intentional or not, but the person Xian Yi sent to take care of Ning Fan and the others was actually Fan Qi, who was severely injured and only had her primordial spirit left. Although it was said to take care of Ning Fan, it was just to let Fan Qi bring Ning Fan to the guest house to settle him down and convey Ning Fan's various requests. Fan Qi had enough time to recuperate. There was no need for her to meet Ning Fan all the time. Ning Fan also did not have the habit of ordering outsiders around. He sent everyone away and set up a sense isolation formation in the guest house. Then he began to deal with the spoils of war. He left Yu Lingkong and the female corpse in the guest house to rest while he entered the profound Yin world. This time, Ning Fan did not go on a killing spree in the Six-Winged Clan. However, the spoils of war that he obtained were definitely not to be underestimated. The Void Glimpse stage spiritual puppet was slightly repaired by Ning Fan. Then he kept it. It was not the spoils of war that Ning Fan cared about the most. What he cared about the most were the words on the devil statue slate and the trace of devil chi that flowed into the devil marks on his back. Those words were the real words recorded on the slate. They were hidden under the illusion. Ning Fan was the only one who could see through the content of the words with the help of Mo Luo's blood. Those words were a type of writing of the devil race. It was called Gu Tua writing. Rumor has it that it was created by Great Emperor Gu Tua, one of the 9 ancestors of the ancient devil race. Each and every stroke of the writing contained great power. The Gu Tuo writing was widely spread in the devil race. Even though Ning Fan was not a member of the devil race, he could still recognize a few words. He roughly knew that these words recorded the secrets related to Mo Luo's blood. If he translates these words, he would certainly be able to find out the method to refine Mo Luo's blood. The 4 great slave clans of Mo Luo and the method to break the slave marks were also mentioned. It was the same as the information Ning Fan obtained previously. The Six-Winged Clan, the Giant Devil Clan and the other 2 clans were indeed Mo Luo's slaves. Moreover, they had been enslaved before. The 4 clans that had been enslaved had been Mo Luo's slaves for generations. If Mo Luo's divine clone descends, he could take away the lives of all of his slaves with just a trace of his spirit sense. In the past, Ning Fan had also nearly been enslaved. Thus, he naturally knew how terrifying it was. Putting aside the Six-Winged Clan, the Giant Devil Clan had a close relationship with Ning Fan. It was also a good thing for him to know some methods to break the slave marks and help the Giant Devil Clan break the slave marks. However, if he wants to thoroughly understand the contents of these words, he would probably have to go to the library of the Six-Winged Clan and learn all of the Gu Tua writing. As for that trace of devil chi, it was extremely pure. If he could devour and refine this devil chi, it would at least increase his magic power by 1 million units. In other words, the power contained in this pure devil chi was enough to create a void refinement realm devil cultivator. What made Ning Fan feel regretful was that this trace of devil chi had already been refined into his devil marks. Thus, he could not devour it using normal methods and could no longer turn it into magic power. That trace of devil chi was slowly devoured by his profound earth devil marks. Vaguely, his devil marks showed signs of advancing to the next level. Ning Fan's senses were not wrong. The devil chi that was hidden in the slate could indeed help his profound earth devil marks advance to the next level. Once his devil marks advanced to the martial rank, Ning Fan had great confidence that he could break through to the golden body refining realm in one go. Once he attains the golden body refining realm, he would be in existence comparable to a void refinement realm expert. Then he would truly possess the strength to run amok in the rain world. Refine. Ning Fan activated his devil marks and accelerated the devouring of that trace of vast devil qi. For 3 consecutive days, Ning Fan remained motionless as if he was meditating. With the refining speed that was 100 times faster in the profound Yin world, the vast amount of devil qi was refined into his devil marks. Each stroke of the devil marks on his back was burning with tiny black flames. After devouring this trace of devil qi, the improvement of Ning Fan's physical body was not trivial. His physical body was already infinitely close to the golden body refining realm. 1/4 of the Devil Mountain pattern on the profound earth devil marks on his back had been erased. Instead, it turned into the pattern of 6 black wings on both sides of his back. His devil marks had advanced by 1/4. Ning Fan was greatly surprised. That trace of devil qi that was equivalent to 1 million units of magic power could only complete 1/4 of the advancement of his devil marks after it was refined into his profound earth devil marks. If that's the case, in order for his devil marks to advance to the next level, he would have to obtain at least 3 traces of such powerful devil qi, wouldn't he? Ning Fan had never thought that it would be so difficult for his profound earth devil marks to advance to the martial rank. If it were any other devil marks, they would certainly be able to advance to the next level after obtaining a trace of devil qi that was equivalent to 1 million units of magic power. Standing in the profound Yin world, Ning Fan tried to swing his fist. All of a sudden, he was stunned and he condensed his fist light without saying a word. Even though the advancement of his devil marks was only 1/4 complete, when he swung his fist, his right arm immediately shone with dazzling golden light, as if it had become an indestructible golden body. Although the advancement of his devil marks was only 1/4 complete, Ning Fan felt that his strength had increased tremendously. At this moment, his strength was even stronger than ordinary golden body refining realm cultivators. It was difficult for his profound earth devil marks to advance to the next level. However, the advancement of 1/4 was already much stronger than some martial rank devil marks. If it advances to 2/4, 3/4, and completely advances to the next level, at that time, Ning Fan's physical body would certainly be invincible even among golden body refining realm cultivators at the same level as him. Huff Ning Fan exhaled a mouthful of murky qi. Even though it was a pity that his devil marks did not completely advance to the next level, his strength had indeed improved significantly. With the strength of his current physical body, he could severely injure a Void Glimpse stage-old monster like Xian Yi with just an ordinary punch without using any body technique. 3 days had passed. Ning Fan had no choice but to leave the profound Yin world. After giving some instructions to Yu Lingkong and the female corpse, Ning Fan went to Fan Qi's residence and requested to browse through the books of the giant devil clan. Fan Qi, of course, did not dare to delay his request. She immediately reported to Xian Yi and the answer was definite. Xian Yi gave the order that Ning Fan was allowed to browse through any ancient cultivation methods and ancient secret records in the Six-Winged clan. Even if he wanted to make a copy of them, no one was allowed to stop him. On the same night, Ning Fan went to the library of the Six-Winged clan and returned the jade slip of the star-punishing bout technique that he borrowed previously. After that, he made a copy of all the books in the Six-Winged clan and brought them back to the guest residence to read through them in detail. The Six-Winged clan was a devil race. They were born to be experts in body refinement techniques. Not only did they have many methods to inscribe devil marks, but they also had many rare and precious devil cultivation methods, including a few fiend god cultivation methods. Even if Ning Fan had no use for these cultivation methods and magic techniques, he did not mind making a copy of them and bringing them away. It would be a waste if he did not want them. However, what Ning Fan cared about the most was actually the devil scripture of the Gu Tuo writing. With Ning Fan's intelligence, he was able to learn all of the Gu Tuo writing in just one night. At least, he could basically recognize all of them. Ning Fan had already imprinted the words on the slate into the jade slip. After translating the words on the slate one by one, Ning Fan's eyes gradually turned solemn. The Ancient Devil Dao, Ancestral Talisman Blood Refinement Technique. This is the secret technique of the ancient devil race that cultivates blood. In ancient times, there were 10,000 devils in the world. Each of them held a devil talisman and used the talisman to refine their blood. The stronger the devil talisman, the stronger the blood they refined would be and the stronger their devil bodies would be. Among the 10,000 talismans, there are 9 great ancestral devil talismans. Their power is unparalleled and they are called the ancestral talismans. The 9 great ancient devils who held the ancestral talismans eventually became the 9 great devil ancestors. All of them were experts who were unrivaled at the same level as them. This technique records the cultivation method of the Mo Luo ancestral talisman of Great Emperor Mo Luo. However, this slate only contains a quarter of the entire secret technique. If I want to gather the complete secret technique, I still need to find the other 3 devil statue slate. After mastering the complete secret technique, I will be able to condense my natal ancestral talisman and use it to refine that drop of Mo Luo's blood. With the ancestral talisman, as long as I gather enough devil herbs and concoct devil pills, I can even continuously refine the 2nd and 3rd drops of devil blood. With this cultivation method, I just need to cultivate the ancestral talisman step by step and condense my devil blood. When I have enough devil blood, I will be able to return to being an ancestor and become a great emperor of the devil race who is at the same level as the 9 devil ancestors. Mo Luo ancestral talisman. Ning Fan's eyes gradually burned with passion. Blood and devil talisman were the abilities and methods of the ancient devil race. Blood was the innate body refinement talent of the devil race which far surpassed other races. As for the devil talisman, it was a method to increase the innate talent of one's blood. If Ning Fan could completely condense the Mo Luo ancestral talisman, he would be able to fight against Mo Luo with just his physical body one day. A great path leading to the peak of body refinement was already paved under Ning Fan's feet. That you're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.